Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for that morning session. Thank you so much. Please a resounding applause for yourselves. And of course, let us give Victoria a resounding applause for that amazing networking session that she just handled right now. I mean, I saw how everyone was trying to network, trying to meet a new person. I mean, that's the essence of this event, right? The Global Mentorship Conference, for us to network and to grow and become better persons. And this year, like the radio, is the event edition. Oh, Sandra, you didn't network with anyone. Why? Please, we'll be having another session. Please try to, network and meet a person or two. How many of us can comment? Put in the comment section people that you met, the name of whoever you met, what they do. Let's engage with one another because we are still learning so much more at this event. We still have another breakout session coming, and of course, we will be having another keynote session and of course another panel session. Okay, Chioma Peter is saying she couldn't join the networking session, you kept logging her out. Hey, yeah, sorry. All right, Shari Fatu Abdullah says, I was able to network with Chinasa, a lawyer from Nigeria. That's so beautiful. Yeah, how do we join the next breakout session? When it is time, the instruction will be out for you to let you know how you will join the next breakout session. I think the breakout sessions are very insightful and of course very impactful. So I think you should try to join. All right. Rebecca said, I'm named Rebecca, and she's a lecturer in adult education from Nigeria. All right. So when it's time to network again, try to seize the opportunity. Oh, so sorry, Ibuku. Ibuku Bakale says that the network was bad, and so she couldn't enjoy the networking session. Don't worry. I mean, I don't know what country you're in. If you're in Nigeria, I can kind of understand. But yeah. Tell me who are you back today at this networking session that we just ended. I mean, we need to brace ourselves. Okay, for expert creating, she said the networking session was so great. And she met 3 beautiful people. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so what you say, beautiful moderators. So a resounding applause to all our moderators. They did a fantastic job. Many people are commenting and saying, all their moderators did a fantastic job. That is so beautiful. Yeah, Priscilla is saying sorry to people because I mean the network situation at different ends might be quite, interesting for some people. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to engage us in a very short game right now. And I have a prize for the fastest person to type the answer in the comment section. So now we are live here in Lagos, Nigeria. And I'd like to ask whoever gets the answer right gets a gift from me. Who was the first governor of Lagos State? If you know the answer, just put it in the comment section, and I have a special gift for you. Don't worry, I'll have your name down. Yeah. Who was the first governor of Lagos State? If you know the answer, you want to put it in the comment section right now. Many of you are like that network now. Network is back. Are you joking? Since morning, the network was not back. Now I'm asking who was the first of Lagos State. And now you're like, yeah, maybe you're from Ghana, but even if you're from Ghana, I mean, the question is open to everybody in the world, everybody in Africa that's watching. So it's not whether you're Ghanaian or Rwandan. Okay, Tijani has answered the question. Tijani or Soya or Lande. Mary, who was the first governor? Which Lagos is that one? That's not the Lagos thing I'm aware of. I think we have a winner already, but I still want to see special people drop their comment. Who was the first governor of Lagos State? Whoever wins this has a very Tijani or like it. Don't worry, I have your name in my head. I'm going to send you a message on Facebook very soon. Congratulations. Congratulations, you won. Ladies and gentlemen, who was the first doctor of Lagos State? So Tijani here said it was Alaji Latif Jakande. Is that correct? Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! Okay. This is Google. Oh, who is this person? Please put your name in the comment section. I'm just seeing Facebook user. I don't know who is Facebook user, so I can't give you if your name is just Facebook user, right? So you have to put your name. All right. So ladies, you know that this year's mentorship conference is it's for women, the leading women edition. And so if you have a female winner, if you can put your answer there in the comment section and you're a lady, you're going to be getting one leadership free gift from our convener. Now this is not even from me, this is from our convener. All right. Tijani, sorry, your time is up. You gave the very strong answer. Said, and my audience here said it's not that convenient. And someone actually got the answer, but the person's name is Facebook user. So we don't know. It's quite unfortunate. Or should I go on with my gift? I think I'll just go on my gift. Or is there anybody in the audience that would like to help? Who was the first doctor of Lagos State? All right, you. Okay, we have the answer already. Brigadier Mobolaji Johnson. Please, a resounding applause for her. Thank you. Please clap for her now. Don't be jealous. She didn't. Put the clapping emoji in the comment section. All right. Okay. Faith Isaac. Is that your doctor? Oh, that's your name. But then she shows Facebook user. Hey, yeah. Sorry. I don't know. What should we do? Should we give to the person? We should give the person. All right. Congratulations, Faith Isaac. The computer will reach out to you soon for your very special, especially because you're also a woman. And as you rightly know, this year's theme for the Global Mentorship Conference is the Leading Women's Edition. You know, thinking about women, there's one woman I really love so much, I really appreciate. And her name is Michelle Obama. She's the wife of the first Black American president, Barack Obama. And there's this quote that she said, and I'm going to quote it out right now. She said, "No country ever truly flourishes if it stifles the potential of its women and deprives itself of the contribution of our citizens." I mean, like you rightly know, most countries in the world are like statistics have that, women are more than men. Now imagine sidelining your women and the ripple effect it will have in your economy. So women, we are strong, we are powerful, we're impactful, and we are beautiful. Big shout out to all the women here today. All the women have spoken to us at the panel session. The keynote speaker today was a beautiful woman. We had women during the first panel session. This second panel session as well, we're going to be having fantastic women speak to us as well. And people of substance, people that understand that onions, people that know what they're doing. And like I said at the beginning of this event today, that this event is one that you should not take for granted because it's free. Especially in this part of the world where I come from, Nigeria, forgetting that some of these speakers that you brought here today they earn in dollars, but then took out time to come and speak to you for free today. Please do not take it for granted. So let's brace ourselves, let's get ready. The second panel session is about to begin in a few seconds or in a few minutes. And I will not be the one taking us in this panel session. Ladies and gentlemen, to take us again in the panel session 2, please give a resounding applause. Let's brace ourselves and get ready. Let us make welcome the one, the only Emmanuela Tijani. Please let's put our hands together for her.
Thank you, all beautiful MC. I'm so glad to be back here. I do know all our speakers backstage. Okay, we'll give it a few minutes. I see Gwen, but we're expecting Ibike, Dr. Baraka, Mayawa Adeoti, Okay, so we'll give it some time until we have all our speakers. In the meantime, I think that we will go ahead and read out a few bios while we wait for our speakers. Thank you so much for joining us, Gwen. Thank you for joining in on time.
You're quite welcome.
So virtual attendees, continue to network with yourself in the comment section where we wait for our other speakers, and I will bring up the bios now. You need to hear the bios of the amazing women that will be speaking to us now. This is the real panel session for the leading women edition, because the 4 speakers we have today are leading women in the various career paths that we've identified. We have an entrepreneur in our midst. We have a tech expert and freelancer. We also have someone who is committed to doing social good. And we have an academic. 4 of them joining us today, and we're so happy that Gwen has joined us already while we wait for our 3 other speakers. I promise you, this is going to be an amazing session, like the first panel session that we had. So please stick around and continue to network while we wait for our other speakers. I see all the welcome for Madam Gwen. I see all the welcome in the comment section. People are giving you an African welcome from every part of Africa in the comment section. And so let me just go ahead to read her bio while we still wait for other speakers. Gwendolyn Tucker, an HR strategist with over 20 years of invaluable experience in Fortune 500 companies, where she has excelled in consulting with both small and medium-sized businesses, as well as non-profits. Her extensive expertise spans various critical areas, including leadership development, implementing merit-based pay processes, diversity, equity, and inclusion, facilitation and training, and change management. Gwendolyn embarked on her illustrious career in cost accounting within the paper manufacturing industry, a journey that ultimately led to her earning the prestigious designation of Certified Public Accountant. This early foundation in finance laid groundwork for her successful corporate career. One of Gwendolyn's core passions lie in leadership and talent development. She firmly believes that the habit of promoting exceptional individual contributors into leadership roles without the necessary support to develop their leadership skills can hinder or even derail a promising career. Through her role as the president of RICS International, Gwendolyn is dedicated to equipping leaders with the tools and knowledge to build high-performing teams that consistently achieve exceptional results. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the impressive bio of Gwendolyn Toka, whom we have the pleasure of being in our midst today. Please give her a resounding round of applause in the comment section. And I also see that another speaker has joined us. Welcome, Maiwa. Thank you so much for joining us. Maiwa Adelti, I believe, is our tech
hello.
She's representing everyone who intends to gain global relevance through technology. I'll go ahead and also read her bio. And if we do not yet have our speakers, we'll start our questions with the two panelists we already have. Maiwa Adelti is a renowned digital tech expert with 15 years of experience in deploying customer-centric tech solutions across 3 continents. Her dynamic approach integrates tech, marketing, and automation, helping clients in over 17 sectors raise a collective revenue of $24 billion. As the CEO of Website Chief Digital Service, she offers a one-stop shop for digital tech problems, from sales funnel creation to website development and digital marketing consultation. Maiwa holds a computer science degree and an MBA, giving her a unique blend of tech and business acumen. She's not just about profits. Maiwa passionately mentors young women in tech and advocates for UN's SDG 10 to reduce inequalities in the field. When she's not transforming businesses, she loves playing hide and seek, interesting, and fulfilling her duties as a mom and wife for tech solutions that drive exponential growth. Please feel free to reach out to our panelists today, Maiwa Adelti. Can I see the round of applause for her? I already see Sandra Nakasingo say welcome, Maiwa. The same with everyone. I mean, before our speakers have to speak, people are already saying I'm inspired. And those very inspiring bios that we've read already. We will kick this off and then hope that our other speakers will join us. So panelists, are we ready for our questions? We're about to kick it off officially now. As we have more people join us, we'll also ask them their questions. Without wasting much of our time, let's go straight to Gwen, because thankfully she joined us in time. So I'll just kick off with you, Gwen. The first question to you is, would you say that your foundation in finance played a huge role in helping you build a successful corporate career? Does the same still hold through for everyone in this present time who wants to build a successful corporate career? So we see that you started with a finance background, and would you say that that has really helped you to build a successful corporate career? And considering that so much has changed since you started your career, does that same thing still hold true today?
Okay. Good morning, and it is good morning here. I bring you greetings from Memphis, Tennessee, and actually Memphis was named for a city in Ethiopia, as I understand it. So welcome, and thank you all for so much for this opportunity. In response to your question about the foundation for my career, yes, getting my degree in accounting, I do believe was very foundational to the work that I did in corporate, and also the work that I do now with corporations. I actually, I do believe a turning point in my career was after I graduated college. At that time, I had my 4-year degree, my bachelor's degree in accounting, but then I moved into a cost accounting role in a paper manufacturing organization, and then moved into internal audit. And while I was there in internal audit, I realized that a differentiator would be for me to go back and get my designation as a CPA. So even though I was working within a company, I went back to get my designation and earn my CPA, or become a certified public accountant. And one of the things was it really brought great credibility because we were also working with our external auditors at that time. And it positioned me for a role within internal audit to become the leader of the team over our wood and distribution team that was responsible for the land and our wood manufacturing. So I would definitely say that that was a springboard for me as long as I was in the finance arena. But also too, when I moved out of internal audit I actually moved into IT, and Maya, that's in your area as well. So I moved actually into an individual contributor role as an SAP change management consultant, which gave me an opportunity to engage from a technology side and the finance side to be able to grow and to develop. And then I went on to be in a variety of roles and manager of training and ultimately diversity and inclusion for a publicly traded company. But yes, I would say definitely that having a degree in accounting laid a foundation for my professional career and for my growth, because it helped me understand the business in every part of the business in which I had a role.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Gwen. And that means very clearly that having a background in finance and understanding numbers will help anyone who wants to build a very strong corporate career. So thank you so much for that brilliant answer. And I'm sure that everyone who wants to build a successful corporate career is taking notes from that. I see many people who say, I'm not a numbers person, when they're about to start a career. They're like, I'm not a numbers person, I can't wrap my head around numbers. But the business is in the money, like you shared with us. And so understanding finance gives you a solid background and a solid foundation in building a very wonderful corporate career. Thank you so much. And I see you commented in the comment section that you have a smiling face, which is good. Thank you so much for joining us as well, Dr. Baraka. So I'm going to go over to Mayowa with her first question. Mayowa, from wanting to study medicine to choosing to study computer science, I read a story you wrote on LinkedIn about wanting to study medicine, and suddenly you got into the vice chancellor's office with your father, and you didn't even know what prompted you to say, can I just study computer science? You know, and you didn't even know what prompted you to say that you wanted to study computer science. Given that that was a chance meeting that you never planned, and it was something that you never planned to say, but you eventually said, would you say that serendipity plays a big role in our success? And for those listening, serendipity is just luck or chance, things that happen when you didn't plan them. And given that Mayowa decided to study computer science without planning it, as she just mentioned it, Mayowa, would you say that serendipity plays a very big role in our success, especially when it comes to building things like a great career in tech? And what role does that have to play? And what role do we have to play in ensuring that we make the most of serendipity? How does that work out for you? Please share with us.
Absolutely. I hope you can all hear me. Yeah, so I agree. Absolutely, absolutely. It was unplanned. I at that point, I didn't really know much about computer science. I didn't know what I would be studying. I felt pushed. That's how I would just describe it. I felt pushed to just change the old plan. My parents had planned a lot on me becoming a doctor. But for some reason, at the last moment, I just said, no, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to read computer science. And that was it. And in retrospect, when I think about it right now, I'm really, really glad that I made that decision, because I feel fulfilled doing what I do right now, seeing how I, impact businesses all over the world, and help them do better. There are things that happen in life where you have your instincts, different tribes, different people, depending on your faith, depending on how you handle things generally, there is a force sometimes that helps us make certain decisions. So I believe that really, really, really had an effect on me making that decision at that particular moment.
So I think the second part of the question, and thank you so much for that response, will then be, what role do you then have to play as a person in making the most of such luck, quote unquote? So when you enter into a big opportunity by chance, what is your role in ensuring that you make the most of it?
Okay. So when you enter an opportunity by chance, I think the first thing you have to do, as a recipient of that opportunity, is to get to know all you can about it. Learn about that opportunity. Then look for icons in that particular field or area. Look for icons, look for people that are really doing well, people that are making marks all over the world, and then follow their footprints. So when I say footprints, they may be 20 years ahead of you, they may be 10 years ahead of you, they may be 50 years ahead of you. There is always a footprint. Go and look for their footprint. So what did they do that is open to the public? You would learn a lot from just trying to study a few people that are really doing well in that field. That is, when you have all this information, it becomes easier for you to get clarity and understand exactly who you want to be. So that's the next thing. You now have to define who you want to be. As this opportunity comes to you, who do you want to be in this opportunity? And then take that information of who you want to be, and then start working by it. So as soon as you have that reflection and that visual image of who you want to be in your art, other opportunities will start opening that you would then need to start taking. And before you know it, it will just be a matter of time before that image you have in your mind actually becomes real.
Absolutely. I actually absolutely love the answer that you just gave. So you start with learning as much as you can and following the footsteps of those who have gone ahead, because there are footprints everywhere. When it comes to mentoring, there are footprints everywhere. You can get virtually mentored without actually seeing someone. So find those people that have gone ahead and follow their footprints. And then you also mentioned the need for you to define who exactly you want to be. And I believe that everyone who wants to take the path of technology and freelancing into global relevance is taking notes and actually trying to define right now, who do they want to be? There are many roads that lead to technology expertise and earning a lot from tech. You just need to choose one and also find someone that has gone ahead to learn from them. Thank you so much for that response, Mayowa. I'm just going to go straight to Dr. Baraka. And Dr. Baraka, I was quite interested in your journey. And so my first question to you would really be to tell us about your journey. Your question is more like an open check. I'd like you to tell us about your journey. Have you always wanted to work in the medical field, and as a teacher in particular? So you're not just someone in the medical profession, you're also a teacher, a professor, I assume, and would like to really hear about your journey, combining, being a medical professional and being a teacher. So how did that come about? Just tell us your story in general.
Yeah, so my journey started with my parents. I'll start right there, just because I was a child when they decided to pursue their graduate studies from master's level all the way through the doctoral level. So in a way, I was a small part of their academic journey. I witnessed it firsthand. I also saw when they started their academic careers, I never wanted to do that because it does require a lot of work on the background. It's not just what happens in the classroom. There's a lot of work you put in the background. And I thought, I don't think I want to be this person. My dad was already in the healthcare field, and so was his family, the previous generation to him. So in a way, that already inspired my choice of being in the healthcare field somehow. The academic part of things, I think I honestly wanted to be a physician. So probably like you, my co-panelist, that was the path that I had set, and that my parents expected as well, just because I had voiced this from the time I was younger. So I started that by just pursuing my nursing degree, went to the Philippines and completed my bachelor in nursing. I realized that I wasn't much of a as much as I wanted to stay in the healthcare field, I wasn't much of I wasn't clinically oriented. I thought, patients come in with all of these health conditions. Sometimes it's already too late for us to prevent, because obviously they've already developed these issues. And sometimes we discharge them from the clinical facilities without really resolving fully the condition. So I thought, what happens to them outside of the health facility? What factors contribute to the development of some of these diseases that are actually preventable? And so I realized that my orientation was more public health and population level. So rather than just looking at one patient at a time, I wanted to look at communities and social factors in the community that end up contributing to the development of diseases, and just looking at the distribution of health-related resource communities. So then I went on and pursued my master's in global health, public health with a global health concentration, because I wanted to make an impact on the global stage. I have moved quite a bit in my life. Born in Congo, partially raised in the Philippines, came to the United States. And so all over these places, I noticed that, we tend to experience very similar health challenges. They might manifest differently, but we see populations that tend to be marginalized in each of these countries or settings. And so I wanted to be part of the global solutions. Then I decided, since I'm not going the medical route, MD route, I will just go on and pursue my doctoral studies and become an academic, because my passions were all over the place. I wanted to be a researcher. I wanted to be a public health practitioner, to kind of be out there in the community and implement interventions. But I also wanted to mentor the next generations. I thought, what is the best career field that would allow me to combine all of those interests? It happens to be academia. You're able to do teaching, research, and service. That tends to be the triad of academia. And it has given me the flexibility, the autonomy to partner with organizations and fellow faculty to not only research issues, but also identify solutions, work towards solutions to address these issues. And at the same time, I'm able to also teach the next generation of public health practitioners. So it's quite a wavy journey. It wasn't a straightforward journey for me.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Baraka. And if there is anything that you're going to pick out, many things, in fact, that I picked out, especially that everyone who is aspiring to be an academic here today is essentially combining teaching, also combining service and research. So it's like a 3-in-1 package. And so you're not just teaching when you are in the academic world. And I also like that she said the journey is not a straightforward path. And like Mayowa's journey as well, you don't just wake up and say, oh, this is what I want to be, and you're fixated. And it doesn't happen like that every time. It's sometimes like a curvy journey, wavy journey, but be adaptable and know what your mission is, like we learned from the first session. Thank you so much. So back to Gwen now. I'm back to Gwen with her second question. And the second question here to you, Gwen, is you are an HR strategist. So you are the person in our company, that makes the decision to hire, you make the decision to promote, at least that ultimate decision lies with you. And so, as part of your role as an HR strategist, you equip leaders with the tool and knowledge they need to build high-performing teams. And I believe that everyone here who is interested in following the corporate career path to global relevance wants to be identified as a high-performing individual. So the question I'd like to ask you is, what are the core characteristics of successful, globally relevant corporate professionals who consistently deliver exceptional results from your experience?
Yes, thank you. I always like to share with individuals that navigating the corporate landscape takes 3 kinds of savvy. It takes savvy. It takes interpersonal savvy. You have to be able to engage with people of a variety of from cultures and backgrounds and in various situations, right? So it takes interpersonal savvy, it takes political savvy, and it also takes organizational savvy. And I'll go back to the political savvy. Oftentimes, there are written and unwritten rules within an organization. And we can read the written rules, but we have to observe for what the unwritten rules are. And from an organizational standpoint, there is a way of what organizations value. Great performance will get you into the game, but it doesn't get you onto the field. And so on that interpersonal side, you need to be able to cultivate relationships, yes, with mentors, but you also need to find people who can be sponsors. And by that, I mean, these are people who are influencers and decision makers who can help you get to the next level. They're willing to put some of their currency on the line to be able to speak up for you when you're not in the room. That's what sponsors do. And so really understanding the system you're in, understanding how that system works, and then how to be able to leverage it for the best outcomes. And I will say in my career, as a leader, I'm responsible for getting results done through others and basically being able to help my people be their best and for the team to be its best. And so as we think about moving into leadership roles, think about not only how do you get your work done, but now that you are the leader, what is the work of your work as you are to get work done through others? Because at the end of the day, if you don't impact the bottom line, over time, it's going to be detrimental to your career progression. So I would say three things, three types of savvy: interpersonal, political, and organizational savvy is very critical to success and navigating the corporate landscape.
Thank you so much, Gwen. I mean, that is I'm sure that was a light bulb moment for many people. And I see people echoing it. Anointing Uche said it's very put in an apt form. He said, more than mentors, find sponsors. And I like the 3 points that you gave. You need to be savvy on the interpersonal level, politically, and also have organizational savviness. And I mean, there was a quote that you dropped, and I mean, it wasn't a drum mic moment for you, but it was for me, where you said, great performance will get you in the game, but won't get you in the field. And I mean, that's very, very apt. Thank you so much for sharing, Gwen. That was really, really, really fantastic. So I'm back with Mayowa, the former aspiring medical professional turned tech expert, with the second question. And the second question to you, Mayowa, is, there is the technical aspect of technology, and there is the commercial aspect. So if you'd like to put it this way, there is the business side of tech, where tech professionals or freelancers go beyond having the skills to profiting from and gaining recognition in the field. So please talk to us about the latter being how tech professionals don't just then exhibit skills for the tech profession, but then go on to profiting from it and gaining global recognition from it. Because there's so many people with tech skills, but not as much people earning from it or gaining global recognition. And this program, this event today is about getting people to find the path to global recognition. So talk to us about how to profit from and gain recognition from your tech skills.
Okay. So that's a very good question. Thank you. And it is almost a pandemic, in the tech world, that a lot of technical people they do not understand how to handle the business side of technology. So most tech guys are solely focused on the technical skills, how to do this, build this app, do this, do that. That is their passion, because they are very passionate about building. They most times just forget about the aesthetics, when it comes to putting the product out there, when it comes to getting recognition for their work and all that. And in the current society, as I would advise everybody in technology right now, as you are learning the skills, as you're perfecting your skills as a tech person, no matter what part of tech you're working in, you also have to learn how to put yourself out there. You have to learn how to curate your digital footprint, because the world will not know anything about you, especially now if you are not digital. Everywhere, there's nowhere you go to right now. The first thing, say your name anywhere, talk to people. The first thing they will do is go online to look for you. They want to see your digital footprint. They want to see what you've done. They want to see what you've achieved. Be the best of programmers, be the best of a builder. You would just be hidden if you don't do the right thing when it comes to putting yourself out there. So the first thing that I would say is that you have to learn how to determine which, you have to be on social media. That's the first thing. Now, when you're on social media, you are not on social media to just share what breakfast you ate this morning, what pajamas you wore to sleep last night, like the normal Gen Zs will do, what you and your friends are currently doing. All these things are very, very, it's cool, right? It's okay. But it is not all about that. You want to share other things as regards to who you are, like I mentioned, before, who you currently are and what you are aspiring to be. It shouldn't just be in your heart. Share it. Let people know about the project you're working on right now. Let people know what challenges you're facing. Let people know how you solved those challenges. Let people know how you met this person that you've been looking forward to meeting. Curate your professional life, right? Put it on social media, because what you're really doing is creating a footprint. And you would be surprised that when your name is being mentioned in places where you are not, the first thing they would see is how the stories you're telling, the stories you tell online. Maybe you write a blog post, and then in the blog post, you tell a story of how you had this challenge professionally, how you were able to, just think through it and face and overcome the challenge, how you moved from this step to the next step, and you've just told the story of how resilient you are, or of how you can think outside the box. You've told the story of how you can handle any situation if it comes to you. You see how it is so easy to be recognized globally if only you are curating and putting out the right content about you, not only about your favorite food that you went to a restaurant, a 5-star restaurant to eat yesterday. They are also important. I'm not discounting those aspects of your life. I am just saying, please do more to curate your professional life, how you want people to see you, and then that's the first thing. So when you have that, the second thing you want to do is to ensure that you have you meet with the right persons. You get into the right rooms. Yeah, let me put it that way. You get into the right rooms, because you can have all this information, yet if you don't connect to the right persons that can help you. You don't necessarily have to be, as a tech person, be a marketer or even be a business person. That is why we have partnerships. You can have another person who knows business very well that you can partner with in some way or the other, to really help you to put out your work out there, to connect you with persons or organizations that can help you get, on stages that you want to get to. I'll give you a story of a mentor. I was still in the university at this time, And because I was so much interested in programming, I had started really, programming while I was in the university, even though we were not taught, programming per se in the university at that time. We were really, I had to develop myself. So I had this mentor who already had a company, and they built applications. And I decided to go and spend 6 months with him to intern at his company. And I noticed something that is the best when it comes to building out enterprise applications. He would absolutely amazing applications, but he usually finds it difficult to sell them. He doesn't, because he does not know how to sell, he does not know how to talk to people. He's just an introvert who likes to be on his system and just type away and just develop away. And he does all these amazing things. He does not know how to sell. He had to, at some point, he met with another person who is a tech marketer, who loves to talk, who loves to, just be there. There's an event here, is there. There's another event here, you will see him there. He's all over. He was all over. And, he was wise enough to decide to partner with this person. So he was at the back end writing. This was not in the days of social media. There was no social media at that time, right? So he couldn't really do anything about putting himself out there. He was just building. He was this guy that goes out to events, talks to people, and then the business started changing just because he introduced this new partnership, right? So my second point is identify the people or the rooms that you have to be in and create strategies, to just infiltrate and get into those places. And getting to a global stage won't be a problem.
Brilliant response, Mayowa. Thank you so much for sharing that. I believe that everyone who wants to take the path of technology to global relevance learns a lot from that. You need to understand the business of your skill. And that also means that you need to learn how to sell, whether you partner with master salespeople or but either way, there's nothing like partnering alone. You yourself need to put yourself out there, talk to people, be comfortable with telling people about what you do. And you see Mayowa's name. She also said you need to define who you want to be there. She always writes website shape to her name. So you already know that while tech is a very big world, she's choosing a pie. She's choosing a slice of tech, which is website. She's choosing websites. And whenever you see her, you just hear website. And then other things that she can do for you will then be introduced as soon as the website draws you near. So those are fabulous lessons that you have shared with us there, Mayowa. Thank you so much for sharing those. And by the way, I'm also a computer science graduate. But like you said, I learned it on the board. The right C, C++ on Blackboard, and that without a computer, except you move yourself out to really learn it. So yes, thank you.
Yes.
Come back to Dr. Baraka, and I'm not sure if you've heard this term before, Dr. Baraka. There's a term in Nigeria that is very popular called Japa, right? And it simply talks about migration, like moving out of the country to another country. Popular hotspots are Canada, UK, and where you currently are, the US, right? So I'm sure that some of our attendees today who are not just thinking of placing themselves on the global map through academic are also, there are many people who want to migrate to the US or other countries. So I wanted to ask you, how did you migrate to the US? Or have you always been in the US? And how can an inspiring academic replicate the success you have had in the field? Because the general belief is that if you're an African, you don't really stand as much chance in certain fields like academic and all outside outside your home country, and it's so difficult. So talk to us about your migration story, if there was any, if you haven't always been in the US, and how someone who wants to replicate that success will go about doing so. Thank you.
Yeah, great question. So I came to the United States as a student. After completing my bachelor's, came here for my graduate studies, essentially. So that was my migration route. And I didn't know where I was going to establish myself eventually. So I didn't really come to the US with the intention of staying or practicing or working in the US, because as I've mentioned before, I did have a global mindset. So I wanted to be all over the place, to have that autonomy, to be all over, like a global citizen. But I would say that what actually helped me acquire my academic position is, like, I understand what you talk about when people think, you're from a developing country, for example, from Africa, a developing continent for the most part. What can you contribute to a place such as this? You do have a unique perspective that you bring to the table that people that have that were born in the United States or have not really traveled much outside of the United States may not have. And I think most of the, especially in my field, we tend to have that international perspective. As I've mentioned before, the health issues we're experiencing as a continent tend to be very similar. And there's lessons that can be learned from each setting. So there's that reciprocal learning mindset that we have in my field, where, yes, lessons don't just have to come from the United States to the rest of the world. There's lessons that can be learned from the rest of the world back to the United States. And the pandemic may have been a perfect example for that, because some African countries have gone through different types of pandemics. And so there were some lessons that were learned from those settings over here. But I also would say that just networking was very important, and mentorship for me in my journey, because I did what I did as a student without really knowing who was watching me. So you have to really do your best. You don't know who's watching you. They value, I would say, in countries such as this, they actually value, they will observe your talent and they value your talent, and they want to retain talent. And so I guess I may have made a mark somehow through the work that I was doing, because I had to work hard, and especially as an immigrant, you came here for a purpose. You have to work even harder. So I maintained close ties with my professors when I was pursuing my master's at the time. Basically, I maintained communication even after I had left that institution to go and pursue doctoral studies at a different institution. I was still in touch with my previous professors and mentors. I talked to them from time to time. And so I guess I was blessed enough that they were waiting for me to complete my PhD so that they could retain me at that university where I completed my master's. In a way, they followed my journey. I attended conferences, and I would find them at those conferences and just keep them updated on my progress. So basically, I would say I invested in my own professional development and self-directed learning, but also nurtured those relationships that I had built throughout my academic journey. Not just establishing the relationships, but nurturing them over time. And then I sought mentorship wherever I went. So that helped me find positions over here. But I just also want to say that, this whole concept of brain drain kind of gets to me. I know that a lot of young people want to go abroad and work abroad. I would say the grass is not always greener on the other side, but also at the same time, our continent still needs the talent that we can contribute to it. So as an academic, I would say that's one of the perks of being in academia, is I've been able to do work not only in the United States, but also in Congo. So there are times I'm invited to teach. There are times I've done research over there. So in a way, like, as you're going out of your country, think about how you can invest back in the motherland somehow, to still contribute your talent that way.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Baraka. And by the way, very important piece of information, Dr. Baraka is representing Congo. Yeah, and even though she's in the US, she's from Congo. Okay. Right, and she mentioned quite a number of things, starting with a global mindset, which also means that everyone's on the phone. You have to get comfortable with things and experiences outside of the ones you're used to if you want to place yourself on that path. It also means that cross-cultural intelligence is critical for you. So Dr. Baraka spoke about starting with the global mindset and also networking and mentorship. She then went on to say that she made a mark. So beyond networking and finding good mentors, you also need to ensure that you don't let those people down by making a mark wherever you're placed. And also remember to give back to your home country. And she's doing that by, I assume working on research and other things that concerns that directly impacts Congo, our home country. Okay, amazing. I believe that we're learning a lot. I'll do one more round of questions for all our panelists here today. And I will hope that you begin to put your questions, our dear attendees, if you have any. So I'm back to Gwen, the smiling Gwen. My question to you, Gwen, because this is the Leading Women edition, and if you just give us something, if you'd like to say a parting word for that woman who wants to build a stellar career, who wants to gain global relevance through the corporate career path, and specifically speaking to women, especially young women, who wants to build a stellar career and gain global relevance using the corporate career path. Could you please just say something as a parting word for every woman who is watching?
Absolutely. And thank you so very much for this opportunity. I would say to every woman who's listening that it's very important to know who we are. There's a quote that I love. It says, "Be yourself because everyone else is taken." And so learning how to be authentic in who we are and what we bring to the table and how we can bring value is very important. I love the opening keynote speaker. She talked about the imposter syndrome. And many times it's because we doubt ourselves. And so I would encourage you to question your doubts when you doubt yourself, and also be a lifelong learner. It's very, very important to be a lifelong learner, and also to surround yourself with people who want the best for you. That is so important. I have found that I'm very thankful and fortunate that over my career, there have been people in my that I've met along the way who are still friends today. And so as you go along this journey, you will meet people not only for a season, for a reason, but also for a lifetime. And it's very important, possible for you to also be that lifetime friend that people can reach out to be able to reach back to you as well. So I would encourage you to focus on being your very best and being the next best version of yourself.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gwen, for that. I'm going to come back to Maiwa, but not before I quickly do a quick stopover with Dr. Baraka, because one of the attendees, and rightly so, note that all the sessions we had today, along with other great points that I've shared, spoke about the need to network. And so someone asked, one of the attendees asked, is there a best way to network? Have you cracked a code in networking that people here should take with them? And I want Dr. Baraka to quickly answer that before I come to Maiwa with my final question. What's the best way to network? Or is there something that everyone who is looking to start networking from today should keep in mind?
Yeah, I don't know that there is a best way to network, because I feel like everybody's very unique in how they approach it. I've seen, what I would say is, I've seen people network, maybe there's a wrong way to network. Let me just say that I've seen people network in a very robotic manner, where you just approach somebody, you're very structured, and like, here's my business card, and that's it. Don't expect for that person, especially at conferences, for example, where you're able to distribute business cards, don't expect that person to actually keep that business card, or even perhaps reach out to you if they don't understand how that relationship can benefit them or their organization. So I would say that it's an art and a science, and you really have to put in effort to kind of market yourself, as my colleagues, my co-panelists have mentioned here. It's such an important skill to learn how to market yourself. Give your elevator pitch in just a few seconds. You're able to kind of just highlight what your value, what you contribute, what your skills, your competencies, and what you may contribute to that particular relationship. But also follow up over time, right? Like, keep reaching out. Keep reaching out. I don't know if you do that in person or online. Now we have all sorts of, media, social media, and professional media such as LinkedIn, where you can continue to reach out to those people that you want to network with. So I would say it's the same thing I said about mentorship, like nurture those relationships that you're building, but don't approach it as science that is a structured pattern. It is actually an art of just building relationships, social interaction. So I don't know if that answers the question partially.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Baraka. And Anointing Uche made a confession while you were speaking. He said the robotic networking is so big, which means that after he has met you, he's going to change from robotic networking to building a real relationship with people that he hopes to connect with. At the core of it, we're all humans, and you can't speak to a human like you do to a robot. So here's my card, call the number there, and I'll be there for you. People are busy. So you just need to know that everyone is a human, everyone you meet and hope to connect with is a human, and you must treat them that way. Okay, so I'm back to Mayowa. And Mayowa, my final question to you is two-pronged. The first one is, you have helped clients in over 17 sectors across 3 continents raise more than $24 billion. And I'm quite curious. The question to you would then be, number one, a tech talent, maybe the person has made some progress in their own country. Is there a code to attracting clients from other countries and other continents, since we're talking about global relevance? And the second part is, in working with businesses, you've worked with quite a number of businesses, helping them to handle the tech side of their business. What's the biggest lesson or the biggest thing you'd like to tell the business owner who also wants to build a global sustainable business?
Okay, so my journey in tech has been really, it's been progressive. Let me put it that way. So let me talk about it a little. I started off as a programmer, a young programmer out of the university. Got a job with a small startup, and this startup was like the very first few, like maybe 2 or 3 e-commerce company in Nigeria. That was about 16 years ago, because then we didn't have this kind of internet penetration that we have right now. So e-commerce was almost non-existent that time. So I was working with this guy as a programmer. I was very passionate about it. I gathered a lot of e-commerce knowledge, which I didn't use for very many years. So after I left to another company that builds websites for small companies. So I spent a few years there, and then I left for another company who deploys internet banking application for financial institutions. Now, on this role, I was no longer a programmer. By that time, I had become a senior programmer. So what I was doing on this role was project management. So on this role, I was managing programmers from India, programmers from Nigeria, from other African countries. I was managing the project, managing the, technical guys on those projects. And we worked for different, major banking institutions. We deploy several, core banking applications. I did this for about 7 years. And then there is this other part of me that I always have ideas of how, when I see a struggling business, there's this, I know I can build this thing that will help this business. And then I see another problem. I have this idea that can solve this problem, but what can I do? I am only one person. There is a limit to what I can do. At some point, I decided, okay, by the time, at that point, there was, at some point, e-commerce was still really dragging in Nigeria. And I really know that this was before the advent of the Konga and Jumia of Nigeria today. Konga and Jumia really brought in the big e-commerce boom in Nigeria. But before then, I had the idea of, aggregating vendors from different markets, putting them on a website, making them, and then I built this system. I finished building it. It was beautiful. It was working. In fact, I got a grant. I went into a business plan pitching competition. I got a funding to do this. Then I did it and all that. And then I realized that I knew how to build. I understand how to solve problems, but I didn't know how to market. I didn't know how to sell. So I built all these things and everything, and then selling, really became, an issue for me. I had another platform I built on the side, something around, not in e-commerce, something else, and I had the same problem, selling it. So I decided to go and learn marketing because I realized that there is a problem with business owners going to technical companies. Oh, I think I need this technical system because I want to scale my business. I want my business to do better. And then I saw a problem that most of us in the technical world, we will only recommend technical systems, so to speak, to them. And then when people make an investment in technical systems, they use it for about 6 months, 1 year, and then they decide it is not for them because they have this, big goal about, oh, this system is just going to make me start doing times 10 of what I currently do. It's going to help me scale my business. But there is a psychology behind this. There is a system that is supposed to be behind a technical system, and that is a marketing system that a lot of people don't put behind it. So I decided to learn this. And then it took me some years, to learn about marketing and then now I understand technical, I understand deployment, I understand marketing. Right. And putting all this together, right, has helped me to be able to do what I do right now at the scale in which I do it. It is because of all this aggregated knowledge. And to come back to your question, about so over the years, the clients I've worked with small business owners, I've worked with banking institutions that have used the technical systems that I have deployed to do billions of dollars in revenue, because I deployed those systems, they are also my numbers, right? So, and that is what I want to say to young people right here. Please don't discount any of your efforts. When you are part of a project, take ownership of the project, take ownership of your part, in those projects. Own it with your full chest, right? And and don't be timid about the things. Don't think there's nothing that is too small, right? Yeah. And just don't stop learning. Don't stop getting better. There is no knowledge that is lost. I started with e-commerce, at the beginning, went into websites. I later went into project manager. Now I'm back to helping SMEs build systems and scale, right? Everything works. It just enters each other. You just realize that your journey, as the opportunities come, take it, work it, be the best in it, and so I hope that answers your question, though.
It more than answered my question. Thank you so much, Mayawa. I believe that you started from somewhere very critical, which is we shouldn't discount any of our experiences. And it's great to vary your experiences. Collect experiences like pearls. Do this with a focused mind. Take the experience from it. Do another thing. Make sure that you're living with something away from each of those experiences. And then to technical people, Mayowa has made it clear that just in case you might be thinking why you aren't there yet, the reason might be because you haven't learned to sell, or you don't know how to market yourself, because marketing is important. You need to not just know how to do something, but be known for doing that, for you to actually be globally relevant. So thank you so much, Mayawa. And I really thank you as well for advising young people to own their achievements with their chest, like you put it. That was very brilliant. And on behalf of everyone who's been here with us during this panel session, I believe that I'm speaking on their behalf when I say that this is indeed a panel session for leading women edition. And I thank you, leading women, for sharing from yourself and not holding anything back and giving us great answers that we've taken things away from this session. So thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Dr. Baraka. Thank you, Mayawa, the aspiring medical professional turned tech expert. Thank you to all our audience as well. I'll leave you in the very capable hands of the MC now, and thank you so much. I remain Manuela Tijani. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Emanuela. That was such a fantastic session. And thank you to all our panelists. Thank you so much, Dr. Becca. Thank you, Mayowa. Thank you to every one of you. It was such an insightful segment. It was such an insightful panel session. It was thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom with us. We really appreciate you. Please let us appreciate that in the comment section. Thank you. People are saying it's been very inspiring. Well done, well done, well done. Please let's put our hands together for each one of them. They've done such a fantastic job. That was such a beautiful panel session, and I had a good time learning. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, to take us into the next session of this global mentorship conference, the Lead Women edition today. It is now time for us to go into the second breakout session for today. And I know we learned so much in the first breakout session, but trust me when I say that this second breakout session is going to be mind-blowing. Oh, Paula Shawana, thank you so much for the recognition. I see you. Thank you very much. Please let's do well to go into the second breakout session. Pick the section that best applies to you, and let's get right into it right about now. I can tell you for a fact we have amazing speakers, beautiful and amazing moderators that will be helping us with that. So now, if you're watching us from Facebook or YouTube, please stay on board. We have a very beautiful lady, Victoria, that's going to be taking you on that journey. I was here during the first breakout session, and I can tell you for a fact that she's going to give you another beautiful, beautiful time again. Like they say, the end of the thing is better than the beginning. When you do something the first time, you think it's good until you see them the second time, then it's better. So this second breakout session is definitely going to be such an amazing, amazing time. So let's get into our different sessions now, our different breakout sessions now. And of course, we're learning so much. On learning, we're learning, and just trying to get better to be able to position ourselves for the global stage. And that is the essence of this global mentorship conference for today. Thank you very much. Right about now, I'll hand over to Victoria for those that are watching on YouTube and those that are watching on Facebook. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tolu. Welcome once again, Africa, to the second breakout session. How many people are as excited as I am right now? Let me see your favorite emoji in the chat. My favorite emoji right now would be energy. You know that one that's like this? That would be what I'll be putting in right now. Because, I'm just so excited. And just like we had in the first live session, this is going to be another interesting one. Thank you so much. I see you, everyone. I see people saying I feel empowered, very informative. Trust me, it's been absolutely amazing. And I've really had a swell time in today's session. So we have 3 of our speakers here. We're expecting one more person. That's Dr. Adebi. I don't see Dr. Adebi yet. But for the benefit of those of us that were not in the morning session, I'm going to do a quick review of the profile of our speakers, a briefer version this time around, hoping that Dr. Adebi would be able to join us by the time we are done with that. So this time around, I'll start with Ivie Osobase. Ivie, you did not eventually tell me the right pronunciation of your name. I hope
Pronounce
I
it. You pronounce it very well. That's fine. You pronounce it very well.
Thank you so much. All right, so Ivie Folashade Osobase is a dynamic multi-potentialite with over 14 years of marketing and communications experience across sub-Saharan Africa and the APAC region, including Australia. Recently transitioning into agile coaching, Ivie sits at the intersection of creativity, adaptability, and technical prowess. Ivy has worn many hats throughout her career, from leading multi-country marketing and communications campaign to coaching agile teams. She thrives in diverse cultural environments and has the unique ability to bridge the gap between traditional and digital landscapes. Based in Australia, EVA has facilitated agile transformations for multinational companies, achieving efficiency gains of up to 37% and fostering a culture of continuous improvement. A unique blend of skills has broken down silos between digital and traditional marketing and cross-functional agile teams, establishing EVA as a transformative force in both sectors. Once again, beautiful people, please put your virtual rounds of applause for EVA. Thank you so much. All
Thank you.
right. So now I'm going to introduce Tinuade again. Tinuade Oguti is a transformational IT specialist with more than 10 years of experience in telecoms, IP networks, technical sales, IT solutions, infrastructure design, consulting, and customer experience. She's a graduate of computer science where she had a BSc. She had a mini MBA telecoms and mini MBA digital innovation. She has also earned several relevant industry certifications through mentorship, support groups, local and global speaking engagements, and other social impact activities. She imparts her knowledge and encourages women and girls who are interested in STEM fields. Tinuade was awarded Promoter of ICT Development in Nigeria by Titan of Tech, African Women Tech Leadership by Women in Africa, and several industry recognitions. She's a member of the Nigerian chapter of the Internet Society, Project Management Institute, and has carried out over 30 network infrastructure projects in more than 12 sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, virtual round of applause for our distinguished speaker, Tinuade Ogutoyi. It's nice to have you here once again, Tinuade.
Thank you very much. It's good to be back. Ivy, you're welcome back too.
Thank you. All right, so I'll read Dr. Derry's profile before I go to the fourth panelist, and I hope that he'll be able to join us as soon as possible. Aderisola Adio Adepoju is a multi-potentialite excelling as an educator, coach, academic, entrepreneur, and SDGs and global opportunities expert with a strong dedication to youth and women empowerment through skills acquisition. She champions the realization of the SDGs, having served as an Unleash ambassador in both 2021 and 2022. She's the convener of the Global Mentorship Conference, an annual event uniting youth, women, and professionals across Africa. Dr. Adio Adepoju inspires and empowers the audience to achieve clarity, direction, and tangible results. She's a dedicated social entrepreneur holding a mini MBA from the International Finance Corporation and boasts over 13 years of experience in entrepreneurship management and teaching. As the founder of iTrain Africa, an edtech social enterprise, our vision revolves around cultivating a generation of African youths armed with knowledge, skills, and direction to shape a promising future. Adding to her accomplishments, Mrs. Aderisola is not single and she's neither searching. She enjoys a happy marriage and is blessed with wonderful children. Let's give virtual applause for Dr. Aderisola. Nice to have you again, Dr. Aderisola. Last but not the least is the speaker representing academia. His name is Rashid Ademola Adebi. Rashid Ademola Adebi holds a PhD from the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. He's a member of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, International Association of Media and Communication Research, and African Council for Communication Education. He teaches PR and advertising, news writing and reporting, as well as development communication at the Department of Mass Communication, Fountain University, Oshogbo, Nigeria. He's a 2022 Fellow of the Solutions Journalism Africa Fellowship, supported by the Solutions Journalism Network, New York, and implemented by the Nigerian Health Watch, Abuja. Is co-founder and editor-in-chief of Abitosita, a platform for solution-focused stories in Nigeria and Africa. He has published a number of articles in both national and international journals in his areas of research interest. He's currently on postdoctoral attachments at Apollo Global Innovation Limited, a social enterprise incorporated in Nigeria, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, you agree with me that the speakers that we have here today are top notch and one of the best in the fields that they represent. So we'll go on now to proceed with the questions for our speakers. And this time around, I'd like to start with EVA, which representing the professionals and the 9-to-5ers. So EVA, the question I have for you this afternoon is, or afternoon on my own part of the world, with the changing landscape of work, and the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, how do you envision the future of the 9-to-5 job, and what can professionals do to remain adaptable and resilient in their careers?
So the landscape of the 9 to 5 job has changed significantly since COVID-19. So there was a time in work life where people will tell you, especially people that own companies, we're talking top CEOs, they'll tell you people don't work or people cannot work if they are not in an office or in a space. So with the pandemic and whatnot, it forced people to work from home. So now they now see, so now you have people doing hybrid work. So some days in the office, some days out of the office, and the 9 to 5 job sometimes is stretched. Like I work mostly remotely. So maybe in my 9 to 5 timeline for a day, I take a nap at a certain point in time. And when I wake up, I see the email from my boss. I couldn't do that when I was working from the office, right? But this is the West.
Exactly.
So in Nigeria, it is going to eventually evolve into that. So in Nigeria, I know people are back in the office now, but some companies are still saying hybrid work, right? Some companies are still saying do 3 days in the office, 2 days at home. But that was created based on the fact that the pandemic affected that. Now you can see there is a healthier work-life balance when people get a chance to just work from the space that they want to work from, right? Where people can work from their house, they don't have to commute, right? If you're a parent or if you're a woman and you have kids, you can be a mom, right, without literally having to rush back home when something is going on, or you could be in the same space where your kids are and set out rules and say, hey, at 2 p.m. I'm having a meeting, don't come in. So it's changing the landscape for the better, right? But it's also giving women and men the abilities to also do other things conveniently. So even if you are a bank worker, whatever worker that you are, if you're at home, you can actually be doing your side hustle on the side. So it's opportunistic. I'll say the landscape is also opportunistic. It's still evolving. I don't know what it is like in Nigeria at the moment, but I do know that some people are doing hybrid work. So hybrid work is helping people, right? And it's also helping you get that extra, that a side hustle, which I always encourage people to try to get. That's something on the side that you can do. No matter what it is, you can work on a passion project if you want to, but it's actually giving that healthy work-life balance. That's my take on it.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I like the fact that you mentioned the question project. I actually have a question for you about that, but we'll come back to it when I come to
All
you
right.
again later.
All right.
Thank you so much for that. All right. So, Mr. Noade, your work involves mentorship and support for women and girls interested in STEM fields. Now, what advice do you have for aspiring technologists, regardless of gender, who are looking to make an impact in the technology sector, just like you have done for yourself? Now, how can they navigate and overcome potential barriers? From your own experience as a woman in tech.
Okay, thank you very much for the question and thank you for having me back once again. I think the first thing I would say is intentionality. I tell people a lot, be you a girl child, be you a lady, a woman entering into tech, or you're transitioning, or what have you, you have to be very intentional, especially for women, because it looks already like the men have a leverage, because everybody one way or the other perceives it like is a male dominated field. So when you're coming in, you have to double up. So I tell people, if you want to excel as a woman in tech, you're doing probably 10x than what your contemporaries are doing, because the society, the perception and everything had not actually give a fair ground to play. So you have to do more, and you don't get discouraged by what people say. Like, I always like to use practical examples because these are things that I've experienced personally. When I joined the technology business, or joined the ISP business, I noticed I was the only girl as it were, and that was already sending a signal. So I was trying to just make sure this is just coincidence, until I noticed that is the way it's done. When four interns come for interview and three boys and one girl is there, they will likely take the three guys and leave the girl out, like, you can't do it. So at that point, I'd actually stopped wearing trousers for some personal reasons. And I told myself, if I will need to go under the table to pull cables, if I will need to climb those mini ladders, I will have to wear trousers again. So I got my jeans back to do this. So I was just very intentional about it. And that's what I tell girls, I tell ladies, women that want to come into tech. You have to give it all it takes. Like, this is what I want to do. And that intentionality will help you. I've always said that for someone that has passion, nothing can stop you. But imagine if you don't even have it, not even when statistics shows it that women don't stay up to 10 years, or most women don't stay up to 10 years in tech business or in the tech industry. You know that you really need to do more. So that intentionality is very key. And don't keep quiet. The narrative is changing. Then we don't really have a lot of people to ask questions from. I know, but now you have a lot. LinkedIn, you can network, get people that are doing the same thing you want to do. You can ask questions. Don't keep quiet. They say collaboration is the secret sauce. You need to get all of those information together to make you thrive in the tech business. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Ms. Nada has told us that intentionality is very key as a woman in tech, and also do not keep quiet. I don't know if this conference was just made specifically for me, because I'm currently on a fellowship, right, for learning product management as well. And then in the orientation session that we had just last week, one of the things that they kept repeating is basically a women program. They were saying, do not keep quiet, do not keep quiet. So I'm hearing it again. That means that this conference was made for me alone. And because this is resounding and I'm hearing it again, if I have challenges, I will always remember that statement. Do not keep quiet. So if you're a woman here, you're experiencing challenges in your tech career, it doesn't matter if you're a man as well. But then for women, because we know we are underrepresented, do not keep quiet. Seek help. Get a mentor. Always speak out. Ask for support. And then you'll definitely find women supporting you, because we want more of women in tech. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing that. So I'll go quickly to Dr. Derisola. Dr. Derry, your work has taken you across 5 continents. So could you share a memorable cross-cultural experience that taught you valuable lessons about entrepreneurship? And how can aspiring entrepreneurs benefit from embracing global perspectives so that they're not just looking at their local environment and we don't want to be local champions. We are aiming to become like you.
I would say one valuable experience I learned about entrepreneurship. I keep referring to the Honest Global Innovation Lab in Singapore, and I would say that experience would be storytelling, like how you tell your own story. Um, Determines how, like, storytelling plays a very important role in, what would I say, in how people perceive you. So I learned basically that at the end of the day, it is what you say you are that people will like say, oh, that is who that
Yeah.
person is. So on the journey of entrepreneurship, no matter how you say, I'm not really, I'm not a forward facing person, I don't like to talk too much. If you think that thing is good, it's good. Like, you must learn to curate your brand, curate what people are saying about you in a very intentional way. And today, probably when they say global opportunities, right, you probably think about me, because why? I'm continually telling a global opportunity story or a story about SDGs. So if they had to call one person, two people, three people in Nigeria and the whole of Africa to speak about SDGs, my name would be amongst those people. If they had to call someone to speak about global opportunities in Nigeria, my name, it will ring the bell. So I think one thing we should take away from that, and especially in 2023 and going forward, is the fact that a lot of businesses that we used to just sit on, oh, I have a business image, would have to start telling story about their personal, like they call it personal branding. Why? Because buyers have gotten smart, and for some reason they want to connect with a human being instead of just buying from the business. So I think it's important that we are thinking about that. And if you're a business owner and entrepreneur, it's better you start thinking about how you forward face tell your story as a business owner, so that if people have multiple choices, like if I have to choose between this, da 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 da, something is going to differentiate you. And a speaker said earlier, he said, Gwen said there can be another you, right? So at the end of the day, people will end up buying from you in 2024 because of who you are, not because your product is the best in the market, really. Like, people are now buying into personal brand, and that is why I said storytelling is one thing. Like, tell your own story, front face on your business. You don't have to be extroverted to front face. Just show up, and you can go back and be an introvert. So, but tell your story right when you're an entrepreneur.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aderisola. Tell your own story. I can't tell your story for you the way you would do for yourself. Of course, no one else knows you as much as you do. So tell your own story. Let people know you for who you are. People are buying, like Dr. Aderisola said, people are buying more into the person and not just the product. So it's true, your product might not be the best, but because they are able to relate to your story, they just feel inclined to buy from you at every point in time. So personal branding is key. Please make sure you've noted that down. So back to you, Miss Evie. I said I was going to ask you about your passion projects because I was going through your profile and I saw with all these things that this woman is doing, she still has a passion project, a 9 to 5. How is she able to do this? So the question is, balancing a full-time job with passion projects can be challenging. And I speak from experience because that is what I'm doing also. I have a passion project and I work 9 to 5. Now, how do you manage your time effectively to accommodate your work responsibilities and your passion projects focused on financial literacy, reducing inequality, and climate action? And what tips can you share with professionals like myself and the many others that are watching that are looking to do the same thing?
So thank you for that question. I think the first thing you need to be able to do is allocate blocks of time, like in a day, to something that you're passionate about. So if you're, say for instance, my passion project, like you said, is financial literacy. So say for instance, I'm tackling a project focused on financial literacy in a Monday, 9 to 5. I know it's dedicated to work. I will rest for 2 hours or 3 hours after I get back home. By 9 o'clock, I dedicate 1 hour to do something, focus on that my project. It's these little bits of times dedicated, to that project that makes it work. Like, so little drops make a mighty ocean, that sort of thing. So you take 1 hour every day, and then on your Saturday, you can take the whole Saturday to try to focus primarily. Yes, but you've got to learn to allocate blocks of time, and you always on it. And because it's passion, right? You can't get tired of it. You enjoyed it. In fact, it's like a break for you when you're doing that passion project when you're home. Secondly, streamline your work with technology. So one of the things that I've learned even working with Darren is you've got to be able to post content on LinkedIn, for instance. I could write content all of Saturday, right? And put my content, arrange it on an app called Buffer or any other app available, and it just automatically posts for me. So I streamline my work in such a way whereby I make things convenient, right, for myself. So I don't have a PA at the moment, but since I don't have one, if I know this is my priority for this particular time, I try to streamline it with apps, with technology, with things that can make your life easy. Then finally, like Tino Ade said, I'm going to reference her. Intentionality. If you really want it, you will make it work. So some people's intentionality might be on their passion project, for instance. It might be Saturday, I am focused on XYZ. So Monday to Friday, they're too tired. They come home, they've got kids, they've got different priorities. But that Saturday, my kids are going to my sister, they're going to a birthday party. I won't go. I am focused on exercise. So you have to be intentional about what you are doing. And oftentimes, I find that passion project actually feeds your energy, right? When you go to work. So if you're, if your salary at the end of the month is somewhat funding your passion project, oh my God, you're always excited. When you get to work and you just it's after 5 o'clock, bye bye. You get home, you focus on what you're doing, you come back again, but you endure that job because you know that somehow from that job you're getting funding to put into that passion project. So I think it all marries some way, somehow. The idea of intentionality and passion, and the idea that, you work in a field, you like it, you don't like it, but it sort of feeds your passion project. So that's how I go with my own passion project. That's how I'm able to manage it. Even if sometimes it seems overwhelming, I'm able to marry it together. Sorry, yeah.
Thank you so much, Ivy. In fact, it was like, I don't know if I just, as I'm saying this, Miss Dr. David, sorry if I just get angry with me and push me away from here. This conference was made for me. I could relate 101% with this, right? Because exactly as she said, and that is what I tell people. I said that thing you take as a passion. For me, personally, that's what I do. I try to spend at least 1 hour every single day. Once I come back from work and I rest for like 30 minutes, settle my children, I go back to the other room where I call my office space, and I must do at least 30 minutes to 1 hour every day on that passion project. I make sure I do so. But the whole of Saturday, I'm always excited when it's Friday because I know, Saturday, there's no work tomorrow, so I can focus. And that's exactly what I do. So if you're in that situation now and you're just feeling there's no time, please take this advice from EVA very seriously. The time will never be enough. Trust me. 24 hours is not enough for everyone, but you need to, like she said, intentionally carve out time, right? Make the time. 30 minutes. She also mentioned, she said, little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. You look back in the next 3 months, you'll be surprised at how far you've gone. But imagine that you kept on complaining every day. Every time, there's no time, there's no time. Then when you look back in 3 months, you're still saying there's no time because you never started. So please make sure that you implement and then do something every day in support of that passion project. Another thing that you said that interests me is that it gives you joy. So even if you're not totally happy at your job, because you have something else that you're running to, and for most times we don't have the funding, right, to run project at but and I'm glad that we are getting value. I can see our comments coming up in the comment section. I need to also remind us that if you have questions, please remember to put it up in the comments. We're going through your questions. I will be asking the questions again after all of the questions that we have here. We'll make sure to pick your questions and ask the speakers. Now, technology experts often deal with complex technical issues. And because they are not working all by themselves, sometimes they have a team where there are non technical people, right? Or maybe someone that is not totally technical, maybe the MD or the CEO, or some other non technical members of the team that they have to give updates or report to. Now, so sometimes they have these serious technical issues and they need to communicate effectively with those non-technical stakeholders. What are your insights on bridging the gap between technical and non-technical teams to ensure successful project implementation and innovation?
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, before I answer this, I just wanted to say something to what you said, that in Nigeria we call it, you use a stone to kill two birds. When
Okay.
you get paid and you use it to fund your passion, we use a stone to kill two birds. Okay, so back to your
Exactly.
question. Um, I think adopting storytelling helps a lot. What differentiates a techno commercial savvy engineer and just a purely technical engineer is how you are able to tell stories. That means even as an engineer, as a technologist, you should be a communicator. I'm a very good fan or a big fan of using analogies to present situations. I remember, I'll quickly tell you, like you should have observed, I like to use very practical things because all of these things are things I probably do every other time. There was a time I was to defend why we got a particular device that they perceived to be an overkill. And in a bid to explain why I got this device, I used a Mercedes Benz and a Toyota as an example. And I said, imagine you having a Mercedes Benz. Everybody knows it's a luxury car, right? And it is the same price with a Toyota brand. However, the Mercedes Benz saves power or you use less fuel. So I got that device because it consumes less power. Though it's big, the memory, everything, but it consumes less power. And I know our spending on power is more. So I think being a good communicator, adopting the art of storytelling will help you a lot of times to be able to communicate very complex things to non-technical people. And non-technical people can be your bosses, it can even be your clients, it can even be other stakeholders that are not necessarily your client, maybe even vendors that you want to do something and you have to tell them, oh, I want to achieve it this way. And this is why. So you have to, like I said, be a great communicator. And also, we need to differentiate between when we're speaking to technical people and when we're speaking with non-technical people. Most engineers, we are just used to it to use our jargons. So paying attention to those times and when you really need to break things down is also very important. And read your audience. I might be in a meeting and I assume everybody understand what I'm saying. But maybe from the feel I'm getting, I can tell that I think everybody is lost. Then I'm very quick to adjust and break it into simpler terms. Use things that are relatable. I want to tell my boss about something that has to do with us getting more capacity because there is a new landing cable. Then I'm beginning from the place he understands is which is making money, like the profit or the revenue the business with. So I'm beginning with, if we buy more capacity, we pay less. We're able to sell to our customer at a lower price. Then we attract more sales for our people and we'll be able to onboard more people and get enough reference. So he's already buying into it, even without me stating all the technical jargons. So be a good communicator, be able to feel when your audience is lost when you're using your technical jargons, and also storytelling. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So she's told us that we should adopt storytelling and then listen to your audience. Make sure that you are checking if they understand what you're saying. If they don't, then try as much as possible to explain it in the most simplest terms without using all the technical jargons that they don't understand. If you truly want to communicate. Now, I'm going to be putting Dr. Derry on the spot, and that is because the person that's supposed to speak for the academia is not here. So, because I know that she has experience in that, I'll be asking her this question. So, Dr. Derry, because of those in academia, I'd like to ask you this question. Now, research is a fundamental component of academia. Now, can you share your insights on how aspiring researchers can identify relevant and impactful research topics? And what methodologies you believe are most effective for conducting meaningful research?
Okay, so you dragged me to my academic side. Like that's just brought like memories my way. So when you're talking about research, right? Um, I'm going to have to say this. Research should be something that we are going to, with the mind that, oh, don't just be that person and say, I want to finish a PhD. Just do something. You should ask yourself, what impact is my research going to have? What impact is my research going to have? What will it be solving a problem? There is no point spending 5 years, 7 years, 10 years on a PhD program, and you finish that program, and there is nothing like it's not solving a global problem. Unfortunately, we are all guilty of it. I would say we, like when I say we, I mean Africans. A lot of us go into a research without first asking ourselves, what is the problem that is existing in the in the real world, right? So you find out that most academic papers are just put on the shelf. So there is a disconnect between the academia and the industry. And if you see developed nations right now, the way they are going forward with conducting research is they first, when somebody wants to start a research, you might go to an industry and say, okay, what problem do you have? Take, for instance, someone probably doing a PhD in the medical field and say, oh, COVID has happened. As a, there is no need, there shouldn't be a need in an ideal society that it is now an entrepreneur that is going into research. That should go to the academia and say, look, we need corrosion is affecting a sheep. And that is one of the beautiful things I learned in Aberdeen when I was there for a part of my PhD. There was this thing, there was a postdoctoral research fellow who was doing a research on corrosion. And I asked him, he was from Ethiopia. Why? He said, oh, the oil industry in Aberdeen, you know, like there's oil in Aberdeen and everything, they were experiencing corrosion on their ship. So they were trying to look at as in how they could reduce the way the ship was corroding. So his entire research program was on corrosion. And that is how, like a lot of advanced countries, you say, oh, they have funding in advance to go and do a research in advanced country. Why do they have funding? It is because their government does not waste their time saying, oh, we have a problem and start setting up committees. No, they go to the academia and say, oh, we have a problem, ship is corroding, we have this, something is happening. Can you carry out the research into this? It is a research institute after all. So they give them the company that is interested in that research. For instance, there was a company of the oil and gas that was interested in the corrosion research. They fund a PhD student. As in, just in case you've been wondering how people get scholarships.
I actually have been
That is
wondering.
how they get scholarships, right? You are wondering, somebody just dashing. No, they're not just dashing you money. It's because it's an organization who is interested in the end product of that research. So they release it and say, oh, if you are interested in XYZ research, apply for this PhD, it's fully funded. Guess what? You are doing the work. So they are only funding the research. And when the result of the research is out, they use it to provide solution in the industry. That is how to choose a research topic. And I'm going to give you this free tip, even if I know people pay me several hundred of dollars
Please
for
give us.
Like, when people come to me and say they want to do their PhD abroad fully funded, and I say, okay, what do you want to study? They say, hey, I just want to go to the US. And I'm like,
Exactly.
okay, right.
Exactly.
So you think somebody is willing to fund your travel for fun because you want to go to the US? The question should be, who exactly asked the problem that my research expertise can solve? Who asked the problem that my research expertise can solve? When you know, let's say your research is around diabetes, right? Ask yourself, as in, who is interested in diabetes, solving the problem of diabetes, for instance. When you know the person that is interested in solving the problem of diabetes, then you have hit your jackpot, because all you need to do is go and pitch to that person. The person is already interested in solving the problem anyway. You just need to say, you need to now pitch yourself why you are the ideal candidate. They should fund to do that research. That is how people get scholarship. But if you are just thinking, I want scholarship, you don't want scholarship. You should be, whose problem can I solve that if I'm going to solve it, they will pay me for solving it because they are practically paying a PhD student for carrying out that research. That is how you choose a very reasonable research topic that is going to fly for a long time. In terms of methodologies, you have to, of course, develop it. At least at the PhD level, you have to develop your methodologies. There's no one size fits all. The most valuable thing I learned on my PhD is have a plan A to Z. Because when you get to the lab, what you planned on paper won't turn it out. So when it comes to research methodology, always tell yourself that plan for it, but have an alternative plan because it is research after all. It would not go. And I say not it will not go the way you expect it to go.
Thank you so much, Dr. Derry. You people should ask for account number and be sending your $500 for that useful information. See, who else could have given you a free tip like that? So, do you know, I've always been wondering, this is what I'm saying, funding, PhD, free funding. I know a lot of people that have gone to the US for PhD and they say they are fully funded, and I'm wondering who is dashing money for PhD. So it is now that I totally understand that the government are funding it because they need to solve, so they need solutions to problems, and that is why so it is not free money. Everyone has been looking for free money and free jackpot moves. It's not just about jackpot. Please pardon me if you don't understand what jackpot is. So jackpot means that there are some people that they just want to leave their own the country where they are born, their original country of birth, to another place, so for greener pastures and all. It is not just about that. If you want to apply for PhD, make sure that you are in tune with that problem that wants to be solved, right? So that you're able to provide meaningful solutions as well. And you're not just benefiting. It's not a parasitic, relationship, but it's a mutual relationship. I see someone saying in the comment that GMC 2023 is the best decision ever that you've made. And trust me, you are not wrong by saying that. I also saw another comment. Someone was saying, how do we link up with this opportunity? So most of you do not know. I will tell you, right? Dr. Derry has a course on global opportunities. So if you did not know before now, go and type I Train Africa and search for it. You will see a lot of opportunities on LinkedIn, on global opportunities. Like she's the go-to person for global opportunities. So you're covered in that regard. All right, so I'll go back to EVA. Gender inequality and empowerment of women are essential components of your passion project, according to what I read. Now, what actions can professionals and organizations take to bridge the gender gap in the workplace and support women in achieving their career goals? Especially in the light of this pandemic. I remember that you were saying earlier that, for example, women that have children, it's easier for them if they are able to work hybrid to sometimes stay at work. But it's not totally in all organizations. So what other support do you think that professionals and organizations can help bridge this gender inequality in the workplace?
Well, so for me, I think organizations need to really adopt the idea of diversity, and diversity being between male and female employees in their organization. They can't keep being male centric in their hiring processes. So their hiring processes also need to be very transparent. And there's also a need for encouraging equal pay. I don't know if it's paramount in Nigeria, but here in the West, you find a lot of people doing the same work, but the women will be paid lower than the men. So I don't know if that occurs in Nigeria as well. So yeah, you do have issues with equal pay, but I think above all, organizations can really try to support even the top force. Some of the top companies like your BCGs go a long way to encourage women. Right, they make things convenient for them. They even that's part of their unique selling proposition. When they want people to come work for them, they show you how much they support their women folk. And I also know some organizations in Nigeria, Access Bank goes a long way too to support women. So the organizations really need to be committed to supporting women and show that they are supporting women. I think that's the only real way that they can do it. And for women, when you're going into a workplace, I think you should, how do you say it? You should understand that you're not a man, right? And that's a power. The fact that you can use, some women are able to use that their charm and charisma as women, right, to actually work a room, command a room. People like them, people want to work with them. Well, some women, they go into a room thinking that they need to be haughty and they need to be, aggressive. And before you know it, the men are looking like, what's wrong with this person? And before they lose face, right? There is a power in being a woman. There's a power in being feminine. If your voice is squeaky and small, use that your squeaky and small voice to ask for what you want. Right? That's some women do it effectively. You find you can find in a chairman of a boardroom, all are men, but one woman is there, and they keep on telling you that they want that woman there. It's not because she's doing anything untoward. And when I say untoward, she's not being messy, right? Some women are messy, but she's not being messy. But she knows how to use her tone. She knows when to be a mommy to the boys. She knows when to be a friend to the boys. She knows when to, she knows how to appease them, right? So I think you need to learn that art of charisma as a woman when you're working, right? But with boundaries, right? Don't let anybody get carried away with the fact that you're being kind to them does not mean you are trying to, there's no intention behind it. You just want to be respectful, but you also want to stand strong in who you are as a woman. So I think that's part of the ways that you can be, you can use your femininity, you can use your femaleness, right, to get where you need to be, especially in a space where there is inequality between genders in the corporate world. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that very, very insightful answer to that question. So, women in the house, I hope that you're taking notes and you've noted how to stand tall in the workplace, right? So that you're not intimidated and you can, live to your full potential and show the world what you're made of and the possibilities that you can offer in the workplace without getting intimidated by anyone. All right, so I see some people asking in the comments, how can I feel like networking with Vivier. How can I connect with Doctor? Please, LinkedIn is the go-to place, right? So search for their name, Dr. Aderisola Adio Adepoju. Follow her so that you can always see her post. Follow I Train Africa. Follow Ivie Osobase. Their names are showing on the screen. So follow them on LinkedIn. Tinu Ade Oguntiyi. Just follow them on LinkedIn to keep updated with them. You see more of their posts and other offers that they might have for you. That's the best way to connect with them. Okay, so quickly I want to go to Tinuade. Now, technology, as we all know, and like you gave us in the morning session, BBM, BlackBerry, it no longer exists, right? Because technology is always evolving, right? It's constantly evolving. And staying updated with latest trends and innovation is crucial for everyone. So, what resources or books, courses, communities would you recommend to those that are in the tech space, in the freelance and gig field, or those that are just leveraging the tech to do their businesses or to work as professionals? So, what resources can you recommend for them? What communities do you think will be beneficial to them? All right, so that they can keep their knowledge current.
Okay, thank you for that question. I think post COVID, I tell people that though there are a lot of casualties during COVID, but it's opened up a lot of things. And that means we can actually tap into uh, lots of resources. LinkedIn is very popular, like you said, and you can get a lot of information, especially when it comes to the industry, because you have groups putting, or like companies or associations putting things they do. You have GSMA, you have CIO, you have Gartner, you have NSS Lab, you have Essentia. I love Essentia particularly because I am in Nigeria, and of course, I want to take care of African space. Charity begins at home, they say. So Essentia has a lot of information. In fact, they give daily report of what is happening in telecoms, technology, and also mobile. They capture all of that. And beyond all of that, also, it is essential that technologies, and like I said, these things cut across in whatever business you do. You need to know what groups speaks to what you do, what community speaks to what you do. So I have some newsletters that I've subscribed to. If I want to get information on maybe change in leadership or business or market, I know that I will sign up. I will get my news from Forbes. Sometimes I get from Wall Street, because I just want to know. Something happened lately. Like I said, I'm in telecoms and I do a lot of projects. And the rural telephony I mentioned in the morning, we're already using satellite. There's something we call geo satellite, which is a very common satellite because they are farther, they are costlier. Then somebody like Elon Musk came and said, I want to do low Earth, and that is LEO, meaning they are closer, but they don't have that big coverage. That's the dynamics of this business we do. If I don't put my ears to the ground, I wouldn't know that Elon Musk is already bringing his own low Earth orbit to Nigeria. And I need to calculate immediately because the geo is actually costlier. So what am I going to do? I have to do like maybe a cost benefit analysis here. Or if I use something that is cheaper, how in the long term does it benefit my client? So all of these news are very important, either in what you're doing as project, or you're innovating, or how you are able to position yourself in the industry. Lest you just hear that the business is dead or that person is not relevant again. So it's very important. All of these platforms have a lot they can help. I know there are a number of social impact groups too that are doing a lot of things. You have actually mentioned I Train Africa. I know Techstars. I know Cyber Foundation. I know this other one, Lead Way Africa or something, Leading African Women or something. Then she leads Africa. She code. There are a number of them. What you just need to do, if you find that, oh, what I want to do is software programming, you go to the one that speaks to what you want. If you want to do networking, you go to the one that speaks. Oh, you want to be a cybersecurity expert, you go to the one that speaks to what. And by doing that, you're now forming networks and you're growing your own networks. The way they say that your network is your network. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. I'm going to be asking the last question from myself to Dr. Derin, after which we'll take questions from the viewers. I've seen a number of questions, and then after this question to Dr. Derin, the next set of questions will be questions from the comments. Okay, so Dr. Derin, you've trained over 40,000 youths in Africa. And that's a very, very laudable. When I begin to count 40,000 people, I don't know where they will get to if we arrange them in this space. Now, equipping them with knowledge and SDGs and global opportunities. How do you see entrepreneurship contributing to achieving the SDG goals? And what role can young entrepreneurs play in that process of contributing to the SDGs?
Okay, great. Thank you, Vic. The first thing every entrepreneur must know is, irrespective of what you are doing, it doesn't matter what you are doing. At least I can tell you for free that you are contributing to SDG 8, which is decent work and economic growth. If you have a business, it is going to be contributing to economic growth, at least if you are growing the business, not the one that is dying. So it means that every entrepreneur in this particular comment section should at least say, oh, I know I am contributing to SDG 8, that is Sustainable Development Goal 8. And please, I'm going to address this here because a lot of people, one of the questions we get in our inbox all the time is, I want to join SDG. You cannot join SDG. SDG are goals, global goals, sustainable. It is not a community. It is not like WhatsApp. It is goals. As if someone should write on paper, I want to be this cage at the end of the year. Can you join that person inside that thing? No. When you set a goal, like that, oh, I want to be XYZ. So that's the way it is. Sustainable development goal. Only that the entire world sets that goal to say it is a goal for the globe. It is a goal for us all. So you cannot join SDG. You can align what you are doing with SDG. You can, be contributing to an SDG. You are contributing to a goal towards meeting it. You are not joining it. It is not a group. Now that we have that clear, so it means if you're an entrepreneur, you are doing decent work towards economic growth, right? That is one. Now, another thing you must understand is, since you're already contributing to economic growth, which is could be like you doing your business profitably, employing staff, that's the decent work. You are employing staff, you are contributing to SDG8, it is decent work. Now, when it now comes to the niche of what you are doing, you may now be contributing to other things aside SDG8. For instance, I Train Africa. Apart from SDG8, because we are employing staff, we are training, one of our programs is around, what's it called, apprenticeship. Like people come to our hub to learn how to be, to serve, to, what's it called, get skills around the edtech industry, right? That is already us like contributing, whether employing or we are training. So because we are training people on how to have workplace skills, right? Workplace skills is the skills is just English. It simply means the skills you can use to work, right? So we are training them on that. The virtue that we are training makes us an educator. So it means I Train Africa will say, oh, we are doing SDG 4, which is education. So as an entrepreneur, ask yourself, and it is a business. I'm not a university, but I'm also doing SDG 4 as education. Why? I am a trainer, right? So all these coaches, training schools, whatever, you are contributing to SDG 4. So all I need you to do right now is ask yourself, okay, my business, what is exactly the purpose of my business? You need to find what is the purpose of my business. Even fashion, you hear people say fashion does not align. It's a lie. It is a lie. Like fashion, like I see people doing sustainable fashion and things like that, and recycling. They recycle jeans jackets. By the time you recycle a jeans jacket, instead of throwing it away, your business is contributing to climate as a reduction because you are recycling. In climate, they will say recycle, reuse, and things. You are reusing, recycling. So that is what you need to do. But you need to think it through. Go and read all the SDG and say, oh, this one, I think this is the one my business is actually trying to reach. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dere. So it's now to take your questions. I've been seeing a number of questions and I'll begin to ask them now. Now, this one is from Charity K. Lumbe and it's directed at Ivie. The question says, what advice can you give to a woman that misused their feminism in a corporate world? I wish she was able to expatiate on what that is, but peradventure you'll be able to understand. So she's asking, what advice can you give to a woman that misused their feminism in a corporate world, keeping in mind they need to put boundaries so that they are not misinterpreted?
So I think what I think I understand by that is a woman that has probably, maybe has had some sort of inappropriate behavior in the corporate space as a woman. I tell everyone that I have had encounters, one or two people that have gone that route, that you can't work hard and then pack it together with that sort of behavior. One will give for the other. You can't work hard, and I don't want to be explicit here. You can't work hard, and on the other side, you are doing something that is downright and wrong and whatnot. And tell yourself that you're going to get ahead. First and foremost, it has a lifeline that it shortens your career as a woman. At some point, you will be known for the untoward behavior. That's what they're going to know. You'll be branded as that, be it a man or be it a woman. If that's what you are doing, it's not just women, it's men as well. Because I've also, seen that some men think that they can be inappropriate all the way to the boardroom, right? It doesn't work. One will give for the other. There are two industries, and I call it industry with respect. The two industries that don't marry very well. They don't go well together at all. So my advice would be, don't do it at all. I've encouraged people to even quit their jobs when they found that maybe their boss or manager was pressuring them to act in a certain way. Rather walk away. You can't starve. You cannot starve. It might be difficult, but you cannot starve. So walk away rather than put yourself in that setup. It's not just the one place you're in. It's going to reverberate everywhere you go. It follows you. that sort of thing. And it shifts your mindset because then it starts to tell you that you don't need to work as hard. You can put these things together, but at the end of the day, it does more harm than good for both your career and your self esteem as a man or a woman. And you need that
Thank you
mental
so
health balance to move ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. So this also answers the question of Segofatso Lepowane. She was also asking the question that is similar to that, asking how they could stand up to men that are pressuring them, right? So she has told you that you need to just walk away. Do not even go there at all.
Okay.
Do not, yeah, just walk away. Walk away. So I'll take one more question and then we're going to end this beautiful session. Now, someone here is asking, how will GMC help me start my PhD program that registration started 7 days ago? I already told you, right? This person is asking from Malaysia. So the best way, the very best way, search for I Train Africa. If you're already on their email list, trust me, you're going to get something about their global opportunities course. If you're not on the email list, search for I Train Africa right now on your social media profiles, be it Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Send them a DM, right? Send a direct message. They will send you a link to the global opportunities course. I'm very sure when you go through that course, you will know every step that you need to take to finish that PhD program registration. All right. So I think that was a question directed at Sinuadi, and that'll be the last question that I'll be taking now. Uh, so this question says, "Hello, all. I'm from Madagascar. The name is Nantenaina. I hope I pronounced that well." It says, "I want to ask a question to Ade Ogunsuyi. I really love a path in tech because I'm a student of IT here and implementation of our skills is still at a very low interest. So I want some tips on where to start if I want to implement something that I have learned in my society or community." So this person is trying to say that implementation of the skills that they have in IT is very, very low in Madagascar where he's from. So he wants you to share some tips on how we can implement all of the skills, especially as he has learned from you here in his own community in Madagascar.
Okay, thank you very much. Is the person a student? I didn't get that part.
Yes, he said he's an IT student.
An IT student, IT as an industrial
He's
training
a
or
student of IT, that's information technology.
information technology. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, I didn't get the name again, but I had Madagascar. But we can link up also, and maybe we can share some knowledge around what the person is doing. But another thing I would say, I mentioned it earlier too, that networking with people that are doing the same thing you do also helps a lot. Imagine you just sometimes when I want to search for people in my core area, I might just even type telecommunications on LinkedIn. It brings out some names. I try to read through the profiles to see, oh, is this person doing what I'm doing? Like now we know 5G is the boss thing happening, but even as we don't have it so much grown or like to maturity in Nigeria, some countries have actually dealt with this to a very large extent. So if I need information in that area, what I would quickly do is connect with somebody and say, "Oh, my name is Tina Adeoguntuyi. I work as a telecommunications engineer, and I will want to get this information, and that these are the projects I have done, and this is what I'm looking at solving."
Thank
That
you
is a good
so
way
much.
to do that.
Yeah.
But the person can also link up with me on LinkedIn. Then we can
All
share
right.
text
So
on
search
this.
for Miss Tinuade Oguntuyi on LinkedIn and follow her. Then you can send her a DM. I'm sure she'll be glad to guide you. It's been a very beautiful 1 hour session with you here again. And I'm so glad that everyone from the comments, I see that we've gained a lot. Now, the second speaker, the second keynote speaker is live, and we'll be going on to that session real quick. Thank you once again, Tinuade. Thank you, EVA, for joining us for this afternoon session. Thank you once again, Dr. Derry. I look forward to see you in some other places, probably on LinkedIn. Bye for now. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy the rest of your
Thank you
day.
Thank
so
you
much.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Victoria. Thank you, Dr. Derry. Eve, thank
Don't
you for
forget
the
the
insight.
guys from us
Bye.
in the association section supposed to be
Right.
sleeping. Bye.
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 Every other person, please stay. The second keynote speaker will be live with us shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for that amazing breakout session. Victoria, thank you for such a fantastic job. And that was such a beautiful conversation you had with our convener today. I mean, I know that we're learning. Yeah, thank you for saying it's been very insightful as a woman, run away from workplace harassment. You know, it's everywhere. Thank you. It was worth the time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gradually coming to the end of this conference today. But before we get to that point, we have a couple of more sessions that are going to be life transforming, and of course, that are going to be worth wow. We're going to be learning so much, like I rightly said, and like our convener rightly said. It is now time, ladies and gentlemen, for us to have our second keynote speech. You see that, this event is very bent on seeing that we all grow and become better versions of ourselves that can help us be relevant in the global stage. And I really like that. I really appreciate that. We didn't just have one keynote speech, we're having two. We didn't just have one breakout session, we're having two. We didn't just have one panel session, we're having two. It just shows you that everything here on Global Mentorship Conference is double. I hear you hear double, that's a double dose of excellence, double dose of impact, double dose of beautiful and amazing things. So ladies and gentlemen, we have our speaker for our keynote speech, the second keynote speech. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I will be reading out the citation of Dr. Tara Strickland. And when I do so, yes, I see comments. And when I do so, please let's do well to appreciate her as she takes us in the second keynote address. Thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Tara Strickland possesses 10+ years of training and development experience. As a lifelong androgamy scholar, she provides adult instruction in the corporate training realm, offering interactive engagement, hands-on instructions, and helpful solutions. She is a transformational leader who designs a curriculum as entertaining, encouraging, and enduring as humanly possible. Our expertise includes but is not limited to adult learning solutions, structural design, training and development, curriculum planning, and business communication. Dr. Tara is a true visionary and a leader who's been shaping the path of greatness from a very young age. I think that's a very good place to clap, From crafting morality plays at the age of 9 to pioneering change management plans and driving impactful transformation. Today, our journey is a testament of our commitment to leadership and innovation. She's also a graduate of Lincoln University in St. Charles, and she has a PhD in structural leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, please let us make welcome our second keynote speaker for today, all the way from the United States. Please let us make welcome Dr. Tara Strickland. Please let's put our hands together for her. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Strickland.
Thank you, everyone. I hope that you can hear me okay. Please let me know that you can, just making sure. Great. Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to speak to you today about the way forward to global leadership for two reasons. Number one, global leadership is rooted in relationships and those that span across cultures and affect the world at large. And number two, leadership is central to both personal and professional development. And I genuinely believe that my life's purpose is to help others because to become their best self, whether it's at home or in business. I'm going to give you my perspective on how to get to the top of your career path, a few researched and some life learned rules on getting to the top, and how to best activate what you learned from today's conference. But first, I want to talk about leadership. And I'll start by asking you this one question. What kind of leader do you want to be? We all know that a leader is someone who inspires, guides, and influences others to achieve a common goal or vision. But there are several types of leaders, each with a distinct style and approach. Some lead with innovation. Some motivate through support. Others utilize rewards, collaboration, charisma, adaptability, strategy, or policy. You see, knowing your leadership style before becoming a global leader is crucial because it helps you understand your strengths and weaknesses. It ensures effective communication across diverse cultures, and it enables you to adapt your approach to resonate with various teams and stakeholders worldwide. Global leaders expertly navigate the international landscape by engaging their skills, knowledge, and cultural sensitivity. They respect and leverage the uniqueness of every person, region, and culture. In my opinion, the best way to accomplish this is to get to the top, is to affect the masses, is to start with the self. Many often regard leadership as an external force, something that propels groups or societies forward. At its core, leadership is an intimate journey of self-discovery and self-expression. In your quest for success and excellence, it's easy to be fixed on the end goal. However, the journey of climbing to the top has fundamental rules you must follow to avoid missteps or stagnation. And I'm going to give you my top 15 in no particular order at all. The first one is rule number one is professional development is often rooted in personal development. Fundamental skills like communication, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence are vital in a professional setting. In my experience, I've learned that no professional goal was attainable until I tackled it on a personal level first. Rule number two, you must be self-aware. It improves your career choices, improves your workplace relationships, and it guides your career growth. And like I mentioned earlier, it helps you know what kind of leader you want to be. The third rule is adaptability. And that means adaptability is imperative to success. As you grow personally, you know you have to become more adaptable and resilient. And those are essential traits in dynamic professional environments. Rule number 4, never stop learning. The commitment to lifelong learning translates to commitment in professional upskilling and staying updated in your field. Rule number 5, be yourself. Authenticity is magnetic. It builds trust, influences the world, brings clarity of purpose, value, and vision. Most importantly, it reduces stress. I've learned that pretending to be something you're not or hiding your true feelings can be mentally and emotionally draining, and you're robbing others from seeing the true gift of you. I knew I was different since I was a child. I just never knew what set me apart from everyone else. I spent 30 years trying to fit into what I considered to be the norm. Last year, I was actually diagnosed with ADHD. It was the first time I learned the name to that difference I'd known as a child. They called it neurodivergence. And although I'd shared my symptoms with others, it wasn't until just recently that I shared my diagnosis with others and explained it. And they were able to really see me clearly. So it's very important to be authentic with others and be yourself. Rule number 6, build your emotional intelligence. It's considered the universal language because it allows you to recognize, understand, manage, and effectively handle emotion in yourself and others. Global leaders often work with teams scattered across various regions. High emotional intelligence helps in understanding the emotional and cultural dynamics of those teams, ensuring cohesion and collaboration across borders. Rule number 7, learn from your experiences. The global landscape can be unpredictable. To be able to weather any storms you might face, you must draw from your strength and experience to guide you through challenges. Every experience, whether positive or negative, contributes to personal growth. For global leaders, this growth is essential in developing the maturity and perspective required to lead on an international stage. Rule number 8, empower the collective. True leaders recognize that they don't know everything. This is where networking and collaboration benefits you. Everyone is different with unique gifts, experiences, authority, and resources. There is strength in collective knowledge. Rule number 9, cultivate cultural intelligence. In a world as diverse as ours, understanding and respecting various cultures is pivotal. It's not about hearsay or knowing facts. It's about blank slate connections. I'll repeat that. It's what I call blank slate connections. That means no judgment, no bias, simply approaching every new interaction with an open mind, an intense desire to see people for who they are and understand their values, their traditions, and their motivations. Rule number 10, lead with compassion. Be empathetic by connecting with people, understanding their challenges, and working toward a positive difference in their lives. Compassionate leadership, especially on a global scale, is not about soft skills or just being nice. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of your global community and leading in a way that values, respects, and uplifts every individual within that community. Rule number 11, lead by example. Leadership is an embodiment of values and behaviors. When leaders invest in their personal development, set high standards for themselves, and walk the talk, they inspire others to do the same. Actions often speak louder than words, and they transcend language barriers. Demonstrated desired behaviors can resonate across cultures and regions more effectively than simply talking to someone. Rule number 12, prioritize your mental well-being. Your effectiveness is directly linked to your well-being. If you're mentally well, you're more likely to be productive, focused, creative, and collaborative. Mental well-being isn't just a personal matter. For global leaders, it's intricately tied to their professional effectiveness and the success of their organizations. In the intricate web of global leadership, where challenges are multifaceted and demands are high, mental well-being serves as a cornerstone for sustained success and impactful leadership. Rule number 13, be intentional about relationships. And I don't mean small talk or short niceties either. I mean learning people's interests, their needs, what they value, how they communicate best, and remembering to cultivate those relationships. Leaders who prioritize relationships can drive better organizational outcomes and create a positive and collaborative environment. Rule number 14, give yourself some grace. I call myself a recovering perfectionist. I had to learn that no matter how many books I read, how many degrees I have, or how much research I do, I will never know everything. And that's okay. It's important for leaders to recognize and accept imperfections, making it easier to learn from their errors and move forward. It also improves your decision-making, allowing you to not be paralyzed by fear of making mistakes. It leads to more focused and timely decisions. And lastly, giving yourself grace leads to longevity in leadership. Continuous pressure to be perfect can wear leaders down over time. So by simply giving yourself grace, you can sustain your energy and passion for leadership over the long term. And then the last rule, number 15, embrace situational adaptability. Be open to feedback, uncover any blind spots you might have, and remain flexible in your approach. Each situation may require a unique strategy, so be ready to pivot your leadership style to meet a moment's needs. The global business environment's only constant is change. Leaders who can adapt to different situations position themselves and their organizations for long-term success. In essence, self-leadership is really the anchor that grounds global leaders in their values, beliefs, and principles, allowing them to navigate the vast and turbulent waters of global challenges with clarity, purpose, and effectiveness. Without self-leadership, global leadership would lack the depth and introspection required to make impactful and positive changes on the world stage. Today, you've learned about how to navigate career paths in tech, healthcare, governance, manufacturing, academia, the list goes on and on. You've learned how to secure research and grants, how to safeguard your creations, eliminate waste, build impactful startups, assess and mitigate risk, curate learning, innovate in education, and of course, my favorite, complete your doctorate in record time, which I actually did not do. Took me about 6 years. but I'm sure your cup has overflown with information at today's GMC conference. So I'll give you some guidance on how to bring together what you've learned and turn it into action. In the next few minutes, you'll have the opportunity to network on the global stage. That's the first step. Take advantage of that time. Seek out mutual connections. Build your dream team, which is really your customized group of mentors who excel in areas you need to build. And that doesn't have to be one person. After this conference is over, take some time to do self-reflection. Instinctively know your strengths, weaknesses, biases, triggers, motivations, values, roadblocks, and your overall competitive advantage. Take what you learn about you and turn that into your personal brand. The way forward to global leadership is not a huge responsibility. It is a huge responsibility. It's a responsibility to listen, to embrace diverging views, to motivate, influence, unite, and grow. You are the forward thinker. You are the solution. In conclusion, the essence of leadership lies deeply rooted in self. It's a harmonious blend of introspection and outward action, of individual growth and collective progress. The journey toward being a global leader is not a solo expedition either. It's a collective endeavor. By uniting your strengths, respecting your differences, and remaining committed to the greater good, you can shape a future that is inclusive, prosperous, and sustainable for all. Thank you. I'm definitely open to any questions anyone might have.
Hi, Dr. Tara. Thank you so much for doing this with us today and for agreeing to be the keynote speaker too at the Global Mentorship Conference 2023. Even if we've not met, one of the things I tell people is ensure you are using LinkedIn properly, because I actually met Dr. Tara through LinkedIn, and she's here today as the second keynote speaker. So ensure that whatever it is you've learned from Dr. Tara, you are taking it seriously. And I had to personally come on stage to say, thank you so much, Dr. Tara. You did an amazing job of motivating, inspiring, and giving our audience direction. Thank you. Hope that we do greater things together in the future. So thank you, Dr. Tara. You may stay with us in the back end, and you may continue this conference with us. We'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda. So now, Dr. Tara has delivered a keynote speech. And if you are joining us on Open Facebook and YouTube, you will see that there has been a host of amazing speakers today, but this is not the end of the conference, right? We are still here and we have so much in store. If you're on Open, you must be saying, God, it is time to network. But before we go to the networking session, here's what we are going to do. This event, was put together by iTrain Africa, but of course we had people come on board with us, right, at some point. And this is the part that I'm going to say I'm really, really grateful to those who have come on board with us. Home Science Association have come on board, and my partnership lead, Latifa Inkaz Yakub, is going to be joining us on stage at any moment to talk about how we did this, the partners that came on board and why. Of course, what I want to encourage you to do if you're on Open is to go to the Expo booth. Expo booth on the left of your screen. Go to the Expo booth of our partners. Some of them have amazing offers. Think about it. If you have a real life conference, what will you be doing? You should be visiting the Expo booth because there are offers at the Expo. At least I know for sure iTrain Africa has an offer at the Expo booth on Open. Some of you that are on Facebook, don't worry, and YouTube. We are going to send you, expect an email from Sandra, who is going to send you an email about the offer that is on Open. We don't want you to miss that offer. Now, we also have Access Bank who joined us. If you can see right behind me, we have a banner that is showing our host of partners and sponsors. We also have Access Bank who came abroad to be a part of us in GMC 2023. And we say thank you to Access Bank for doing this with us. We also say thank you to our host at this critical event today, which is Home Science Association. This school has been in existence since forever. Like I have a sister who attended this primary school and she's married right now. She's been working for over 5 years. So just imagine how old the school is. But of course, the standard has not dropped because I still have people who are attending Home Science and I know for sure that the standard has not dropped. Thank you so much. Home Science is a group of schools who are doing an amazing job. They have 4 different schools. One is at Ikoyi, another is at Ebutemeta. That's a primary school, right? The primary school section, and there's one at Okoba, Abulegba. Very big schools. The main reason we've used Home Science to host this in this particular edition is because it's at a purpose-built school. And of course, the founders of Home Science are women. The founders of Home Science are women. The founders of Home Science, I'm saying it right because you need to understand that when people decide to work with you or partner with you, it is because you have things like alignment. So, and the 4th school, the secondary school, of course, is in Alakupo, Lagos. All these schools are in Lagos. They are purpose-built. So it could accommodate the several cultures we have to do these events. Now I'm going to talk about Credly, a fintech company. And by the way, Latifa is joining me right about now. I'm wondering why she's not backstage. So a member of my team could please reach out to Latifa to join me on stage. Who's going to take this speech around our partners? I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet, but when she joins me, she will tell you more about this company. Also, a member of my team, Moina, is going to be coming on stage. She's going to join me on stage in the next 1 minute to take this program on iTrain Africa. He's going to tell you about all the amazing things how you can. Some of you have been asking me during the breakout session, oh, Dr. Deering, how can I be a part of iTrain Africa? How can I do this? Please, we will talk about how you can join iTrain Africa. She will also tell you about our offers and all the things. Now, even if some people are not on our sponsors list, I would like to acknowledge some people. Please, by the way, Victoria Adishe is going to come back to meet you on how you are going to network in the next 1 hour. This networking is key. And please remember, there is a stage 2 of iTrain Africa GMC 2023. That stage 2 requires you to qualify. We sent you this qualification before these events, and we listed them. There were 5, I think 5 or 6 in number. You must have posted your flyer of participation at the event. You must have from the beginning to the end. You must fill a form to send to you on Monday, the October 16th. You must fill a form to show on 17th Tuesday. On Monday, we'll send you a survey form. You must fill the survey form before you can, register your interest. Fill the survey form, register your interest, and then ensure you fill it properly. Some of you have been asking us, oh, does the conference have a certificate? No, but the stage 2 has a certificate that is going to give you by potential like that. You certified after you complete the program that you've done 13 weeks of leadership program. And trust me, you know what that adds to your certificate. Now, that is going to be at the stage 2. That is it. After this conference, participate in it. Take a shot yourself, participate in it. Fill forms next week, Monday and Tuesday, and you would hear from us in the first week of November whether you are selected among 2,000 women who attended this conference. Now, I'm going to ask a question, and I'm going to look at the comment section and see what people are saying. Next year, what do you want us to be doing? What do you want us to be doing next year for GS in 2023? The leadership program is 13 weeks. Yes, it's a leadership program. 13 weeks. Leadership program, 13 weeks. Like amazing. It's 13 leadership program. And it's going to be free for 2,000 of the most engaged women who has attended this conference today. But it is not an automatic selection. You need to qualify. You need to fill the form. You need to do all that to qualify into the stage 2. And right after my session, or after Latifa joins me on stage to talk, a member of my team, is there any reason I don't have my people on stage with me right now? After she joins me, we would round up this event officially, but then we will still be networking on Open. Some of you need to miss the people that are going to be your destiny helpers at this conference. You need to do that. You really, really need to do that. You are going to be destiny helpers. Some people are still on opt-in breakout sessions. That is why you see some people are not responding right now. Someone said, kindly, Dubai said, our food insecurity is what you want us to address in the next GMC. We would deliberate on that. It would be great to see some of the beneficiaries of the former mentoring session. I am back. So someone said, can we see some of the previous beneficiaries? If you go to Global Mentorship Conference homepage, globalmentorshipconference.com, on the homepage, you see beneficiaries. By the way, in the last time we selected 1,005, only 800 finished. You will be wondering why. If you do not meet the qualification, rather, if you do not meet attendance of the program, trust me, our European partner is not going to issue you a certificate because you said you were selected. No, it won't happen. They won't just give you a certificate. They would ensure you took the leadership program in true, for real. They would ensure you did that. So even if we select you and you don't complete the program, nothing. You're not going to be automatically, let me put it that way, you are not going to be automatically given a certificate. You need to qualify. So if you have any questions, I can see my team member, Moina Razak, who is going to be talking to you about Train Africa, what we do, our offers, and you can move forward with us. If you want to be with us, you will see her, she's going to join this, and she's going to join this, and we will proceed from there. Moina, are you ready? I'm going to be adding you onto the stage right now to have your presentation, after which Latifah Lawal will be talking to us about our partners. Moina, it's time for you to come on stage with me and play.
Okay, yes, I want to share my screen. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're joining us from. Hello, African, dear African professional. Feel unfulfilled due to your current role because you feel you can do more than that, or perhaps you are certain you can do more with your experience and skills, but you don't know how to position yourself for global opportunities, or you are a graduate with aspiration to pursue your postgraduate study abroad or scholarship, but you don't know how to do that. Hello, everyone. My name is Razak Minat, and I represent iTrain Africa. Yes, the sister organization to iTrain Africa Foundation, hosting this big impact event, GMC Global Mentorship Conference. So you must be asking what we do. What we basically do is to, help youth, women, and professionals to access global opportunities. We do it with, I don't know if you can see my screen. Let me share my screen. I have a slide to share. Okay. Sorry, please, I'll be dying a bit. Right. Sorry. Okay. Yes. So I just talked about Action Africa. What we do is to help you access global opportunities. And the problem you're solving are for youth unemployment. We have 77% of African youth that are unemployment, which 25 million of them are Nigerian graduates. So to show that it is not about literacy, we have literate that are unemployed simply because they don't have that skill to that 21st century skill to be on a job. So this is what we deal with. We deal with that in our iCash program. I'm going to share the link to that at the end of this presentation. And also we help you that lack out, that they don't know how, they don't know the technical know-how on how to access global opportunities like scholarship, because on scholarship alone we have 1.7 million scholarship opportunities every year, which like few of them have been accessed. That many people don't know how to access. This is what we do in iTrain Africa to help you access global opportunities like scholarship. And we also help professionals that have low visibility. There are some professionals, skilled professionals that you shouldn't be where they are, but they don't know how to position themselves well for the opportunity they deserve. So we do this through our various programs. We train organization, we train government staff, we train and we collaborate with people on how to attract people interested in SDG, on how to access global opportunities. We have online sessions like online learnings, which include ebook. Our ebook ranges from, we have ebook as low as $5. The one that talks about how to access global opportunities, everything you need to know about global opportunities. We have the one that give you clarity on how to position yourself on LinkedIn to attract opportunities, and we also have the one that give you clarity on scholarship, postgraduate scholarship. We also have one-on-one services, like one-on-one service for professionals with experience, like 5 and above years of experience, that they want to move to the top of their career. They want to get what they deserve, right? Global opportunities like grants, international job, opportunity to sit on board, and the likes. Our current offer that we have global opportunity program. Yes, this global opportunity program is a program. It is a 5-in-1 package program. Yes, so we have a separate. We have the packages we sell separately, but for the sake of this, for the sake of this program, we have them together. The worth of this is actually $300, but for the sake of this, we are giving it out at the rate of $110. So even at this subsidized rate for GMC, participants on GMC, we are going to be giving you 10% discount on this program. Let me talk about the program. This program is it has 5 different things. One, the clarity book on LinkedIn, how to position yourself on LinkedIn. We also have online course on how to write a very compelling profile for people to see you out there and reach out to you. That is what we call attracting opportunity. You don't even need to apply. People reach out to you with opportunities. We also have support group. This is the interesting part of it. A 3-month support group, WhatsApp support group, where we put it on a WhatsApp group. You can ask your question, and we also share some templates like LinkedIn banner and the likes. And we also have for this program, we have 4-week live workshop where you meet with Dr. Attendee, who has attracted over 30 plus opportunities and has traveled to 5 continents in 3 years on someone else's money, like free. So these are the things we are going to teach you on how to get this. This is what we are going to teach you. So for the purpose of this program of GMC, we are giving 10% discount on all our products with the coupon GMC 2023. Normally, if you know how right from time, we don't give discount. What we give is more value. But for the sake of this program, we are giving you discount and more value. So use the coupon code GMC 2023 when you visit our website, www.itrainafrica.com/our-product is on the screen, www.itrainafrica.com/our-product. This offer expires 30th of October, so you can go to our website to check our product. If you're interested, you get it. So now that you know that we can help, you to be a global citizen, allow us to hold your hands to get to the global stage. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Moina, for a wonderful presentation about iTrain Africa. Moina is our comms lead at iTrain Africa, and she has done an amazing job of giving you that presentation. I know some of you are saying, "Oh, she talks too fast," and all that. But what you can do is visit www.itrainafrica.com/our-product to take advantage of this offer, and you will get an email regarding this. itrainafrica.com
Moderators who are in the comment section, please type /our product, and you would get the offerings talking about. So without further ado, I think Latifa, who is in charge of our partnerships, is going to be added to stage, and she's going to talk about our partners and what we are doing next after this conference. Latifa, welcome, and over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Daring, and hello everyone. Just like Dr. Daring has introduced me, my name is Latifa Lawal. I have the partnerships and collaborations lead. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who expressed interest in today. You guys made it a reality. And then the main reason I'm here is to acknowledge our partners and our sponsors. Our gratitude goes to the Women Community by Access Bank. We thank you for sponsoring this event. We thank you for believing in our mission. We also have Crendly. Crendly sponsored this event. Without Crendly, honestly, they came through almost at the last minute, but I was so grateful for their support. Crendly is basically a marketplace for loans. You can check them out. And then lastly, we have Home Science Association schools who also lent us their support. We are immensely grateful to all of you, our dear sponsors, for giving us a shoulder to lean on and for providing the much required support for this event. I think I was supposed to introduce Muina, and she has gone through with her session. So I'll just speak briefly about iTrain Africa as well, upon which this event or this conference is layered on. Dr. Daring has exposed me to the global stage. Let me just put it that way. One of the reasons I'm here is because I took one of our courses. Yeah, so I want to implore everyone here today to please check iTrain Africa out. They have so many offerings. I'm sure Muina has spoken about their offerings. You should check them out. I'm a living what would I say, testament to the benefits of doing something with iTrain Africa. Yes, so without further ado, I think I should just call Dr. Daring back. Dr. Daring, thank you once again. And yes, particularly if you would like to support our future editions of the Global Mentorship Conference, you can contact myself, Latifa Aitel-Awal, on LinkedIn, or you can contact the convener of this conference, Dr. Daring. We would be glad to hear from you. Thank you very much. Daring, over to you. Can you hear me? Oh,
thank you so much, Latifa. And just as you are about rounding off.
Yes, I can see.
I can hear you, Latifa.
Okay.
I can hear you. If you can hear me, I can hear you. Okay, great. So I was just saying that Oladimeji from W Initiative Access Bank just joined us on stage. The W community from Access Bank is one of our partners, like Latifa has said. And just as we're rounding up, he joined us in this particular session. And we'd like to hear like about 2 minutes from Oladimeji. Why Access Bank W Initiative, of course, W Initiative means Women Initiative, decided to be on this with us. Oladimeji, please, over to you. Can you come talk to us about the focus of the W Initiative and why you decided to join us in this?
Oladimeji, please, can you mute your mic?
Yes, please. Hi, good evening, Aderisola. Good evening, Latifa. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes, okay. Thank you for having me again. So the W initiative,
Yes, we can hear you.
okay. So the W initiative is the home of everything Access Bank has to offer women, right? We're into women economic empowerment. We come up with gender-focused initiatives designed specifically to promote, gender equity, cater to financial and lifestyle needs of women across, any background, so to speak. So we have 5 focus segments. We cater to women in business. We cater to women and their families. We cater to the professional woman. We cater to millennials, right? So we offer various value propositions based off of these segments, right? So we have access to markets, uh, access to finance, where we have specialized loans that are very, very discounted, specifically for women. We also have a health loan called the maternal health service support, right? So this is like the one of a kind product in Africa, whereby women have access to very, very discounted loan facilities towards their health. So a woman wants to undergo fibroid surgery, she wants to undergo, all these specialized surgeries that are for women. You have IVF procedures. It caters to the family too. It extends towards if you want to travel abroad to give birth. So long as you meet certain criteria, this loan is available to you, right? And it's just at 14%. So it's literally the only product of such in Africa right now. So we also have, so that is towards the access to finance part. We also have capacity building programs, right, where we empower women on how to better run their businesses, how to better run the home. For the women in family, we have the women in professional, about, at least recently we had a webinar for professionals. So getting to the C-suite level, getting to the board level, how to better position yourself as a woman towards getting to this high position. So that is for women in professional women. So for business women, we have the W Academy, right, where we have the Womenpreneur Pitchathon program. Aderisola is our graduate from there, of course. So yeah, so the Womenpreneur Pitchathon program. So we have started for this year, season 5. Right. So in this program, women that attend this program, they get a mini MBA, IFC certified mini MBA, and the opportunity to win up to 5 million naira in grants. Right. So the money is not a loan. You are not going to repay it back. Nobody's going to ask you to do this, do that before you get the money. Just come to the program, meet certain criteria, you pitch your business, and so long as the jury are okay with it, you can win up to 5 million naira alongside the mini MBA certification, of course. So we also have capacity building programs where, okay, that's what I addressed just now. So we also have access to networking opportunities. Right? So we have a very, very robust women community, both online and offline, where women are able to network with other women in the same space as they are. So we're looking at holding a similar program to that towards the end of this year. So, that will be communicated, of course, to everyone. So I believe that's a very, very brief summary of what the W initiative covers, what it is about, how we empower women, how we impact women. So this month of October, we're actually having our health month where women have access to free screenings, breast cancer, cervical cancer screening, hepatitis B. So you can get access to these free screenings throughout the month of October, just in celebration of the health month for women this year. This year is the fifth. This year is the 5th edition of the Health Month. So that is basically the focus of the W initiative.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
again, Salah. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for talking about all the amazing things you do at the initiative. And of course, I'm an alumni of the Womenpreneur Pitchathon, the very first edition where we were selected. I mentioned it at this program earlier about getting into that. And Mrs. Jackson did an amazing job of lecturing me on how to structure my business, and I'm sitting around with it. So thank you very much, Oladebiji from the View community, for all you do. Please ensure you follow Access Bank and look at what they are currently doing. Our other partner who is here, Damilare, is also, unfortunately, I'm sure he's not able to get into this program. He's from Attendee, a fintech, like I talked about them. And of course, Home Science, which I mentioned earlier. And our collaborators, our ed partners, partner Potential Life, who is going to be handling the second stage, that is the phase 2 of this particular event, which is a selection of 2,000 of the most engaged women at the Women GMs 2023. Now, having said that, what is next? You're asking us what is next, right? Wow, wow, wow. You are still going to see what is next. Of course, Latifa is on the board of iTrain Africa Foundation. So it's one of those people that probably understand what we are already planning for future this thing. But of course, if you are saying, oh, I have ideas, please, by all means, send us an email. I think this is what you should do. We are willing to receive your email, and we are going to see how you are going to be incorporated into the next. Please ensure that on Monday you read your emails. We are going to send you something. Now, having said this, it's time to network again for those of you that are on Uppin. If you're not on Uppin, unfortunately, you have to network in the comment section on YouTube and Facebook. Now, lastly from me, Aderi Sola, here will be my parting words to you. There is no amount of knowledge that I can give you that would turn into actions. You need to take action. You need to do the work yourself. This is just education. This is mentorship. This is holding your hand. No amount of work can replace execution. Execution is the difference between successful people and people that don't do as well. Everybody that knows me, ask my team member, I'm a fast executioner. You give me this knowledge this night, I don't sleep with it, I execute, I start to work on it immediately. I create a strategy for it, I create a plan for it, and I run. I execute. I always say, I'm not the most brilliant in the room. I'm brilliant, fine. I'm not the most brilliant in the room, but I'm that person that executes like there is no tomorrow. Now you are seeing the success of this event because we have been planning for the last 6 months. Yes, 6 months, 70 plus volunteers have brought this to you. And this is where I say, thank you so much, the amazing team I have behind the scenes. Trust me, it is a lot of work, a lot of sleepless nights to bring a free event to you. It is free to you, but it costs us money. And of course, we know that we are doing this so that we can empower Africa. We can all, iTrain Africa can be meeting the Sustainable Development Goal 4, 5, and 8. Please ensure you take it and run with it, okay? Take this forward. And one last thing I ask of you, pay it forward to the next person in your community. Over 40 countries are present at this conference. At the GMC 2021, you were present. Now in Gemo, I'm sure she's watching this right now. Her life practically transformed. She started something. She was recently selected for an Obama Leader program in the US. Catherine Ikuda sent us an email in December. How through the 13-week leadership program, the partner we brought on board, she was able to get a fully funded 5 years PhD into the US. There are so many things that people did with the knowledge they got from here and the mentorship program. So if you are saying, all that they are saying, we've heard it before, guess what? The difference is if you've heard it before, you action on it today, you are going to succeed with it. You are going to get to the global stage with it. On that note, we are going to say the parting words together. And guess what the parting words will be? Who can guess? I'm looking at the comment section. Who can guess what the parting word will be? It will be Africa Unites. So on the count of 3, I am going to shout Africa Unite, and it will be a very good evening from myself, Dr. Aderi Sola Adekoju. 1, 2, go. Africa Unite! Bye-bye from GMC 2023. Have an amazing weekend ahead. Bye-bye. Go network in the networking session. Bye-bye. Do you want to see my team? Do you want to see behind the scenes? That is the hand. Thank you. Everybody come forward. Come forward. Let them see you. Let them see my amazing team of volunteers. Hi. Everybody say hi. Africa. Hi. Now volunteers come in. Come sit down. See my amazing team of volunteers. We need to move this up the volunteers. You can see them. Say hi.
Come say hello. All the volunteers to come say hello. Let them see you move back. Let me move this so that they can see everybody. Yeah, that's my amazing team. See, yes. Call all volunteers. Bye. The behind the scenes. Everybody come in with your laptop. Let them see you. Everybody come in. Let them see my amazing team. I'm going to move this forward. Can you say? See the amazing team. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, that's it. And we are going to end the stream. Amazing. Hi. Please, you have some music.